Welcome back, my fairies. I'm Matsurific, joined once again by the lovely Mama Wolf Meg. Oh, and apparently I forgot to switch my desktop audio over. Okay, there we go. Now we can hear you, Meg.
Okay. Really?
So, I should have done a little intro first, but okay, so today, welcome to the Velvet Room. We are back with Persona 4 Arena. Sorry, some stuff was happening before stream that we won't go into, but this was got me a bit distracted. But we are back with Persona 4 Arena, and we're finally doing Use Route, and that's... My brain is a bit frazzled from the stuff that was happening, over in Ironixi's stream, but it is very not safe for work. So, well, the words that need to be said in order to discuss it are not safe for work.
Agreed.
We're gonna leave it at that because I want to, I want to move on from that stupid troll. So let's just focus on you and getting through the story of P4 Arena, and we can see what happens after we confront Shadow Labris. Blue. The floor, the ceilings, the furnishings, everything is blue. It's quite unlike what I normally see throughout my day, and yet my heart is mysteriously calm. I recognize the slight rumbling as an engine and realize that I'm in a car. Or someplace else I recognize.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Hi, Igor. Oh, I miss this voice. Sadly, the actor who plays Igor here passed away, and that's why he sounds different in Reload. Not just that they replaced him. Yeah. This is the voice that he had in Golden.
Yep.
The old man with the bizarre face standing before me makes an expression that appears to be a smile. Sitting quietly next to the old man is a woman, as beautiful and delicate as an ice sculpture.
Ah, it seems we have a guest with an intriguing destiny. My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance.
The Velvet Room. Igor. Even though I'm barely conscious, I remember that this is not the first time I've heard those names. I see. This is a dream. This happened in the past. I've been in this room before. If my memory is correct, what he says next is...
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. It is a room that only those who are bound by a contract may enter. It may be that such a fate awaits you in the near future.
The words I expect to hear fall from the old man's mouth. I'm surprised that I still remember them. Another me, the one not in the dream, can't help but smile at that.
Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
I remember this too. When I said my name here, it forged a contract with them. And so I answer. You, Narukami. It's like, oh, are they gonna let you put your name in? No. It's actually canon that that's his name now. When I open my eyes, the light is so blinding that I have to squint. For a moment, I can't figure out where I am, and I look around.
Right. I was on my way back.
I mutter to myself and look out the window. The sky is somewhat cloudy, unfortunately, but the scenery is as peaceful as always. It seems that I fell asleep on the train headed to the countryside, where I spent the last year, in Inaba. If I recall correctly, when I first came to that town, it was an afternoon just like this. I dozed off in the same way back then and was summoned to the Velvet Room. That was when Igor said that misfortunes would befall me, and just as he foretold, I was dragged into an outrageous, unaliving mystery. Alright, and... just get through that. Oh, here we go. But I made memories where that could never be replaced as well. We regained the powers of Persona, and we suffered together. Oh, I almost forgot to do shoutouts too. Hello, Captain Price, welcome. I'm sorry about that. I did know you were here. And hello, Aurora, welcome. I'm sorry, I'm still like really frazzled from what happened earlier. We gained the powers of personas.
Earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah. We gained the powers of personas, and we suffered together. I stood with my friends on the investigation team against these misfortunes and fought alongside them. There's no way I could have overcome such ordeals without their help.
Wonder what everyone's been up to.
After solving the mysteries, it was decided that I would leave Inaba around the same time my parents would be returning from overseas. It's been about 2 months since I last saw them all, as they were saying goodbye to me at the train station. I had decided to stay at the Dojima residence during Golden Week, so I could spend the holiday with my friends. Of course, my uncle was happy to hear this, and his only daughter, Nanako, should be glad to see me too.
Oh, damn it!
Dang it!
I still haven't picked up Yosuke's gift.
You wanna be Umbreon? Make sure you spell it with an E, not an I. But if you do exclamation mark Avatar, and then Umbreon, make sure there's a space between Avatar and Umbreon. It'll switch your avatar. It was supposed to be something special after all. Actually, I'd received a call from Teddy, one of my investigation team friends, this morning. The details of the conversation are a bit confusing.
Hello? Is this Sensei?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm really
Oh,
sorry to bring
Teddy.
this up, but I forgot to tell you something very important. I have a special request for the souvenirs I'm sure you'll be bringing your best friend.
Teddy, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to tell people what you want them to bring you as souvenirs. I already have souvenirs for everyone, but oh well. Sure enough, Teddy was only asking for some snacks that aren't sold in Inaba, so it wasn't much trouble. But there was one problem.
Oh, and one more thing. Can I ask you to pick up something for Yosuke, too?
I was planning on bringing something for everyone anyway, but go ahead.
Teddy!
Cool. Well, Yosuke's been down in the dumps after his mommy burned his favorite nurse.
Teddy!
She was what I call scorching hot. Just kidding.
Teddy!
A nurse?
You are good.
Come on,
about
Sensei.
knickknack.
You know what I'm talking about.
Teddy's about to get shoved in the closet again. Hello, White Rabbit, welcome.
His nurse magazine with the chest examinations and the bear behinds.
I
Teddy!
see.
In the closet you go.
And you expect me to buy him a replacement?
Of course, silly. People coming to visit are supposed to bring presents.
All right. Oh, I was planning to head back tomorrow, but since we're meeting up early, I decided to go back today. Can you pass that on to everyone?
Aha! Then the sexy
Hot.
nurses will be arriving even sooner.
Teddy,
They'll be
you are
like,
going in the closet.
Sensei, we have an emergency
No!
patient. Yusuke will be
No!
so happy.
Teddy, no!
Okay then, we'll
Teddy?
be waiting for you.
Hello, Noah, welcome. I'm a little worried now. No, it's exclamation mark Avatar and then the name of the Pokemon that you want to be. I hope he isn't telling everybody something that would give them the wrong idea. Well, I should just call again once I get there. But I'll ignore that for now.
Nurses, huh?
Didn't know you were into nurses, Yosuke. In the end, I wasn't able to pick one up for him. How can I put it? I feel bad for Yosuke if I gave him that magazine, and every time he opened it, his friend's face kept popping up in his head. And I had to think Yosuke has his pride, too. He doesn't need me buying him this stuff. Very true. Then again, this is Yosuke we're talking about. Oh gosh. I'm sure he'll understand if I explain my reasoning. Probably. No, the exclamation mark needs to come before Avatar, and you do not put the word Pokemon in there.
Now pulling into Yaso Inaba. This will be the last stop. Yaso Inaba.
Oh.
Yeah, just like what Meg just put in chat. But replace Rockruff with whatever Pokemon you want to be.
Yes.
End of the line already. It looks like I'd been asleep for a lot longer than I thought. Just as that thought came to me, a certain worry crosses my mind. If I had a dream of the Velvet Room, did that mean I was going to be dragged into another adventure? No, I shouldn't think such things. I'm overthinking it. Ha! No, you're not. Igor had said, I'm delighted to make your acquaintance after all, so it's nothing but a dream. Nothing meaningless happens in the Velvet Room. It's quite misleading, since I've had dreams of being summoned into that room ever since. The train begins to slow, and I take that as my cue to gather my belongings from the luggage rack above me. When the train comes to a complete stop and the doors open, even the smell of the wind evokes a sense of nostalgia. I think I'm getting a little too sentimental. I step out to the platform with a wry smile. We don't need a bookmark, we're not about to fight. It's gonna be a while before we fight. I'm standing in front of this train station, but this town is as quiet as it's always been. I realize that the sun is starting to set, and the orange sky envelops the world.
Now, what should I do?
Today is May 2nd. According to the calendar, the latter half of the holidays will begin tomorrow. I told Dojima-san that I was going to arrive today, but it seems he's too busy with work to come get me. Ryotaro Dojima. He's my uncle. I stayed with him last year. He's a detective with the Inaba police, and he's raising his elementary school-aged daughter Nanako by himself. Seems like he was suddenly contacted by a detective from the Metropolitan Police Department regarding last year's case, and will have to work late. Thanks, Kurosawa! What happened last year was very seriously, so that may be why this has come up. Oh, nice. Oh, because you're able to change Umbreon? Yeah. You shouldn't have worried about it. Yeah. You shouldn't have. Oh, it's shiny. Okay, I can't really see him too well from here. Sorry. He shouldn't have worried about it. I recall how apologetic he sounded over the police and can't help from smiling. I told him that I knew the way over from the station, but a bag packed with necessities and souvenirs for everyone turns out to be quite a load. Nanako must be waiting for me alone at the house, so I want to get there as soon as possible, too. To be honest, I don't know when the bus will come. Maybe I should just call for a taxi. Just as I'm thinking this...
Huh? Nanako?
Big bro!
Nanako-chan! It is Nanako.
So cute.
She is! Ah! Nanako-chan! We do everything for her. There's no way I'd mistake her.
You came to meet me all on your own?
Why did she come to the station all by herself? True, the Dojima residence is within walking distance, but it couldn't have been easy for her. Hey, Alice Water Tribe, welcome! It's been a while. And even though it's still light out right now, it'll get dark soon, and the country roads are barely lit. What would she have done if I hadn't been here? I'm about to voice my concerns, but Nanako sounds slightly proud when she says,
Don't worry, Dad knows about it. He gave me money for the bus. He said he couldn't make it, so I came instead. Welcome back, big bro. I wanted to see you so much.
I missed you, big bro! Oh, she's so cute!
Thanks. I'm happy to see you again, too.
I see.
Such a precious thing.
She is. She must have wanted to show me that she's grown up too. She's around that age after all. For a moment, I'm surprised that Dojima-san let her do this. But I can kind of imagine what kind of conversation took place. Nanako had always been a capable girl, but over the past year, her housekeeping skills have improved greatly, and she's proven herself to be very reliable. She takes the lead on many things within the house, and even Dojima-san can compete with her sometimes. I can easily imagine that scene in my mind. And it's true that I'm glad someone came to welcome me. I take Nanako's hand and began walking side by side.
Well, no sense standing around here. What's in the fridge at home?
Lots. Dad and I bought a ton of stuff since you were coming to visit.
Hello, Kiara. Welcome. Oh, you know Nanako enjoyed enjoyed the shopping because they had to go to Juness.
Yep.
Every day's great at your Juness.
If Nanako says so, then he really must have bought a lot. Dojima-san said he'd pick up dinner for us, but if that's the case, maybe I should put together something to go with it. I asked Nanako what she wants to eat and looks back with a twinkle in her eyes.
Are you gonna cook dinner? Ooh, I wanna help.
She's such a good girl. Nanako and I make small talk while we walk through Inaba for the first time in a little while. Being here like this makes me feel as if I've gone back in time to a year ago. Ah, she's the most precious bead.
I know.
After we get back to the Dojima home, I hurry and unpack my belongings before heading to the kitchen. Nanako helps me out as diligently as she had claimed earlier. The way she mixes the eggs seems more skillful than before. You're such a good girl, Nanako. She really is.
Good evening. This is the Evening Journal with news for May 2nd. Our top story is on the domestic airline that was hijacked yesterday.
And there's the news story about the hijacking. While the TV in the living room echoes through the house. The TV in the living room echoes through the house. TV was on quite often in this house. When I first came to Inaba, Nanako was practically being raised by the television. There had been this odd sense of distance between us around that time. She hadn't started calling me Big Bro, and we didn't cook together like we are now. It's the little things that bring back memories. Right when we were about done making dinner, Dojima-san arrived with some deluxe sushi. Nanako quickly gets up and rushes to the door. She seems so happy when Dojima-san comes home. Dojima-san apologizes about the sudden increase in his workload, and then we all sit at the table and begin eating. Oh, I love this art. It's just them eating dinner together, but it's so sweet.
I just noticed there's a kitty on top of the TV.
Oh, it's not an actual
really
kitty, it's just a statue. But yeah.
I know.
Being here like this makes me feel like the 2 months I was gone never happened at all. There's a warm atmosphere, as if I've always been a part of this family, and I've lived here with them for my entire life. I thank both of them from deep in my heart, and after I give them the souvenirs I'd bought for them, we enjoy chatting with each other as a family. Also, I love Yu's room. They've even got, if you look to the side, you can see his calendar in Persona 4. His calendar had a picture of the box art cover from Persona 3, but now it's got art from Persona 4 Arena. It's
Nice.
including the P1 Grand Prix logo.
Yep.
Another familiar room. This is the room that was prepared for me on the second floor of the Dojima residence. Nanako fell asleep from all the excitement. After carrying her to her room, I tell my uncle that I'll be going to bed early as well, since I have plans. All he said was okay. I'm a little perplexed by this, but I have my suspicions. As I open the door to my old room, it seems I was right. The room is no different than it had been when I was living here. It's exactly the same as it was when I left Inaba. I close the door with a feeling of wistfulness. As I sit down on my sofa, thinking about my uncle's thoughtfulness, I sigh from the exhaustion of the long journey. I'll be able to see my friends tomorrow. Considering that there are still several days left in this holiday, it may be nice to leave early tomorrow and go visit the shopping district.
It's raining.
That plan's about to get derailed.
Yep.
The time is just before midnight. In mere moments, it'll be a new day. Whenever it rains at night, I keep checking the time. While I spent the last year in Inaba, I was always checking for the Midnight Channel, which is a popular urban legend here in Inaba. It's a bad habit of mine, even when I'm not here. If you look at a turned-off TV at midnight on a rainy night, you'll see your soulmate. Discovering that this rumor was actually true was the first reason why I became involved in the unaliving investigation last year. But the person who actually appears on the Midnight Channel isn't your soulmate. It's the next victim. After discovering this, we all nervously sat before our TVs on rainy nights in order to solve the case.
That brings back some memories. Nothing will show anymore, though.
Hello, Miami. Welcome. Chikorita's a solid choice. Will nothing really appear, though? I suddenly have doubts. Why would I think that? After we solved that case, we all confirmed that the Midnight Channel wasn't appearing anymore. The empty screen stays silent. So why?
Just in case.
It's not going to turn on. There's no way. The more I think about it, the more I feel my resolve fading. I peer into the screen as if something is drawing me into it. The only thing I see is my reflection in the dark glass of the CRT television. Or so I thought. There's some new people here, so I'll let this one play out.
They are
Friends,
yet
yet powerful foes.
The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start.
Hello, Lady Jinx. Welcome.
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of steel, Yu Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain
Risoltamon, Yosuke Hanamura.
Everything that bores me has gotta go.
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat.
Please escort me to the
Love that line.
The unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike.
Blooming roses and bulging muscles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi! Deep into realms of romance,
Best boy.
the body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
Your money is on whoever. It's like, what the heck was that?
Right? And Kanji's nowhere
What?
in that shot.
Yep, because he's already in there. What?
Sister complex kingpin of steel?
Is that me? Sister complex kingpin of steel. I'm impressed. There's so much wrong with that phrase, I don't know where to begin. No, I shouldn't be thinking about that. Those words aren't the problem here. I mean, to be fair, he was literally concerned when Nanako came to pick him up at the train station because it was starting to get dark out.
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I heard to make sure that the TV isn't plugged in. That was the Midnight Channel. Was it actually what it was actually showing was rather ridiculous, but thinking back, everything the Midnight Channel showed last year didn't make much sense either. I'm suddenly gripped by tension. The Midnight Channel is appearing again. I have to find out why. I pull out my cell phone and search for Yosuke's number.
Let's see, H. Hanamura Yosuke.
I quickly hit the call button. Does everyone know about this? Is everyone aware that the Midnight Channel is still being broadcasted? Do they know what it's showing? That it's showing us? And that we've been given taglines that can only be described as uncharitable?
Hello, this is Yosuke.
Yosuke?
It's nothing. I just freaked out when you called all of a sudden. Yeah, that's it. What's up? Hey, when do you want to meet?
I can tell what's going on just by the sound of his voice.
He's frazzled.
Yes, yeah. Yosuke knows Yosuke knows about what's happened on the Midnight Channel just now, and he's trying to hide that from me. Considering that I've been out of Inaba for a while, I'd bet he's trying to keep me from worrying about it. There's no need for him to be concerned about that. Then again, I can kind of understand how he feels. I am his friend after all.
And that's not why I was calling. I saw the Midnight Channel. You saw it too, right?
Huh?
I can easily hear Yosuke panicking on the other side of the phone. He's probably surprised I saw the Midnight Channel when I shouldn't even be in Inaba right now. He must be thinking that the Midnight Channel is now appearing on the national TV network. Looks like Teddy didn't tell them after all.
Did Teddy not tell you? Since we're meeting up early tomorrow, I decided to come today. I figured you wouldn't think I could have seen it, so I gave you a call.
Well, I assumed you weren't here yet, so I didn't want to rely on you.
You haven't changed. So how about it? You're not gonna leave this be, are you, Captain Ressentiment?
Why'd you zero in on that part? Did you see how they called you a sister complex kingpin?
Mine's not that bad.
You think?
You think?
Oh, I ought to tell you, that program's not the only strange thing lately. Teddy, Rise, and Kanji aren't here either. They disappeared.
For a moment, I'm at a loss for words. Not only has the Midnight Channel come back on, we've lost contact with 3 of our friends? I have a bad feeling about this. I can't believe that those 2 things are unrelated.
Alright, we should get together tomorrow like we planned.
Yeah, at the Jeunesse food court. Welcome back, partner.
I'm suddenly reminded that I haven't even greeted Yosuke yet. I finally feel a sense of worry fade a little, and I answer with a smile.
It's good to be here.
No matter what has happened, our friends may be in danger. If that's so, then there's only one thing to do. Speaking of things I have to do...
Oh, right. Sorry to say, I forgot to pick up your souvenir.
A souvenir? Don't even worry about it, man.
You sure? I thought you were really looking forward to it. Those nurses...
Nurses?
I had a feeling he wouldn't get it if I don't tell him flat out. This is rather hard to bring up, but oh well.
Yeah, Teddy asked me to get it for you. He said you were crushed that they got burned.
Oh, wait, this is all...
I didn't know you were into nurses.
Shut up! That's enough! Damn it, you're trying to wind me up, aren't you? Stay home, you jerk.
But I'm already here. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Only best friends can tease each other like that, though.
Yep.
At least it seems like he understands about a souvenir. In any case, the preparations have been made. Tomorrow, I'll meet with everyone to sort through whatever information we have on the situation. If we have to, we'll go back into that world. It'd be best if this was all just our imaginations. But unfortunately, we know that the Midnight Channel wouldn't have appeared without a reason. I should make sure I'm ready for tomorrow and get some rest. Alright.
That's foreshadowing.
Yep, and of course the girls are talking about Yukiko's bento.
Yep.
Which is a shame, because it actually seems like it would have been good before it got mixed up like that.
Right.
This place is lively as always. I look across the food court on Junes's roof for the first time in a while. Even though there aren't many people in Inaba, this place is exceptionally crowded. Plus, because it's Golden Week as well, I feel like it's busier than usual. I happen to run into Yosuke at the elevators. We briefly greet each other. Guys are weird like that. The closer we are, the more simple our interactions when we meet each other face to face. The 2 of us step out of the food court. We immediately find Yukiko and Chie. They wave back at us from the bench they're sitting on.
Good to see you guys again.
Welcome back! We missed you! The guest of honor's finally here! You're looking well.
Welcome back. Should we...
Huh? Oh, he already knows about the Midnight Channel thing. He's actually the one who called me up about it.
Oh, I see. This has turned into a pretty thrown-together reunion, hasn't it? But I'm glad you came.
We chat some more while we all sit down. Then Yosuke stands up and clears his throat loudly. He's probably been waiting for the right moment to say something. He hasn't mentioned anything to me, but I can easily guess what he's about to say. We all look towards Yosuke.
Well, it sucks that we can't hang out more before jumping into another mystery, but to celebrate our partner's return, I hereby reinstate the investigation team in response to the Midnight Channel going back on the air last night.
Oh, the team is back! Just hearing that name again gets me all fired up. Yeah, let's do this!
I mean, to be fair, I'm with them.
I don't think the applause is necessary.
No, it is. Why not? It's been 2 months since we last saw each other, after all. Chie and Yukiko start chuckling when I shrug, and then Yosuke seems saddened at that. He still ends up laughing along as well. It's a relief to see that there's the same as always, but because of that, it makes me even more worried about the friends that aren't here right now. We can't start slacking off. We begin to sort through the information that we know about already.
Well, let's get cracking. I mean, this is no laughing matter. No one's heard from Teddy, Kanji, or Rise. Just those three, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got a hold of Naoto-kun, but I didn't tell her about this stuff. She told me she couldn't make it today because of her job, so I didn't want to worry her. She seemed pretty bummed that she couldn't be here too.
If she has a reason for not being here and we can still contact her, then Naoto should be fine. That leaves Teddy, Rise, and Kanji. Not hearing back from them after an entire day has passed isn't normal at all. The relationship between their sudden disappearances and the reappearance of the Midnight Channel last night disturbs me.
One thing's been bothering me. The picture on the TV was very clear last night.
Yeah. Going by the pattern from last year, it wouldn't be that clear until after the victim entered the TV.
Hey, isn't this the first time a big group of people was shown together? Plus, we're still here. Why us anyway? And what's up with those insulting descriptions?
I haven't discarded my womanhood!
Oh, Chie, it's okay. Calm down.
Oh, poor Chie. Although, oh shoot,
Right.
I lost my... I was thinking of something, and now I've completely lost... Oh, right. I was gonna say that I think the reason why, well, actually, see, it should be pretty self-explanatory, but the reason why, why it was clear, and why there was no static beforehand, is because the static comes from people thinking about the person, and then Namatame would see the person through the static, and then put them in the TV, and that's when it becomes clear. But nobody in Inaba knows about Labris, so nobody would be thinking about her, so she wouldn't have appeared on the Midnight Channel before being put into the TV.
Right.
Chie seems pretty angry about it. Many of the locals know about the rumor of the Midnight Channel. In other words, this troubling broadcast has already been seen by who knows how many people. From what I've been told, the moment Chie tried to ask another student about the Midnight Channel, the other girl ran away with a look of fear on her face. It's no surprise that Chie would be angry. Still...
What bothers me most is Teddy. He was acting like the host of that show.
Yeah, and we can't find him.
This smells fishy. Then again, I doubt he would play a prank like this for no reason.
Chie, that, I know you couldn't have predicted this, but that phrasing is, bringing back some stuff. Moving on. We're not talking about that.
I guess we'll just have to go inside the TV and find out what's going on.
That's right. Go inside the TV. Out of everything, that was the element that shook our common sense the most out of everything that we experienced last year. Actually, the unalivings in last year's events happened in another world inside the television. This world is filled with monsters called shadows that are born from people's hearts. Because my friends and I gained personas, the power to defeat these shadows, we were able to enter TV screens and fight them.
Won't we be stuck in there without Teddy to give us an exit?
But even we persona users would find it extremely difficult to leave that world on our own. In order to come back, we need the exit TV that our friend Teddy was capable of creating.
Not so. I've had Teddy keep the exit TV out on that side.
Look at you, all prepared.
I mean, think about it. What if we were half asleep and fell into a TV when Teddy wasn't over there? Isn't that a scary thought?
Like
Tell
anyone
that to
would
the
be
Kanji.
that clumsy.
Kanji.
Again? Kanji would.
Epic foreshadowing. Because you have to hear this line of dialogue before you find out where Kanji is at.
Anyway, it sounds like it's safe for us to go investigate then.
Hello, Viking Warrior. Welcome. You're now repaired from the hospital. You'd burn your esophagus again. Are now on some medication. Oof, I'm sorry to hear that.
Ouch.
I have done that before. It is not fun. To be honest, I almost fell into the TV the first time it appeared in my room, after all.
Yeah, there's no doubt that something's going on in there. Is everyone ready?
We're all good to go. To tell the truth, I had a hunch that this was going to happen.
So did you. We all share a look to confirm our intentions. All of them nod back. I could see the seriousness in their eyes. Even though there was a 2-month gap since I last saw them, they still continue to put their trust in me. I feel a slight sense of pride as I stand up from the bench. The large screen TV in the electronics department is directly below the food court. That was the entrance we always used last year. And cutscene time! Again, normally we skip these, but we got a lot of new people in chat, so...
It's a holiday, so the store's full of people.
I feel like things are picking up around town.
Hi, Yuta-kun and Yuta's mother! I can never remember her name.
It's been a while since
I can't remember her name either.
I'm a little nervous.
Whoa, wait! There are still people in this aisle!
Hey, get ready! The customers are going away! Uh-huh.
Go!
Let's go!
But yeah, can you imagine just just happening to look over that way and you see these group of teenagers just disappear into a television?
Right?
Different from usual? Oh no! What do we do?
What can we do? We can't stop now!
Good thing you caught it this time, because last time you were with your parents, you had to get blood donation, but still feeling up. Oh, well, you are worthy, Viking. You deserve to have good things happen to you, Viking. You do. And I hope you're able to seek therapy. I hear a voice. It's a woman's voice. It sounds familiar to me. This voice is...
Hi, Margaret.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I don't sense that distinct floating feeling that I usually have when I enter the TV world. When I concentrate, I realize that I must be sitting in a chair. The moment I open my eyes, I see vibrant blue. The Velvet Room. I visited this place an untold number of times last year, and once more in my dreams yesterday. I never thought I would return to this place.
Huh? It's not a dream this time? What's going on? Didn't my contract end already?
Igor, who usually sits front and center, is nowhere to be seen. The one to greet me is the woman with silver hair, Margaret. Could this be a personal summoning, then? That happened a few times last year, too. Margaret smiles as if she senses my suspicions.
This room is tied to your fate. Nothing that occurs here is meaningless. Though you reached an end to one journey, you now find yourself here again. This shows that you will once again be faced with a question.
A question? And something really is going on?
Another mystery has appeared, and we're about to be dragged into it again. Could that be what she means?
From here on, what befalls you will upset your status quo. It is true that you've opened the door once already, but all things change. Nothing ever remains the same. What you gained before will change over time as well. You will have to face them once again.
Face them? Again?
The first thing that Margaret's words stir up in my mind is the sight of my friends' smiling faces. Is that going to change? No, that can't be true. And face them again? That's impossible. Once I wake up and leave this room, I should still be with my friends. There's no need to jump to conclusions. Margaret appears to have anticipated my thoughts and smiles while narrowing her eyes.
Show me how you will proceed down the path that awaits beyond the door you've opened.
My vision wavers, and the blue light before me vanishes quickly. Wait, I still need to know what you mean by those words. Yeah, she's not going to tell you what she means. She's not going to explain that to you.
Nope. Sorry, you.
Where am I?
Where did I get down to when I left that blue room? The scenery is so unexpected that I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Yasogami High. I attended the school with my friends until recently. They said you gotta cut down on spicy food because you have bad acid reflux. Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah? That'll do it. There's no mistaking it. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
This is... No, wait. This has to be the TV world.
The graffiti on the ground. Shoes placed like there's some kind of ritual. Like they're for some kind of ritual. The eerily shining eyes of the portraits on the wall. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yasogami High. Most of all, I sense no warmth from this place, like I always did from the students who would come and go from here. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. But what happened to turn the world inside the TV into this? On top of that, we entered the TV from our usual entrance. I ended up in a completely different place.
This has never happened before.
I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Did we somehow get separated? I start to feel chills down my spine and look around.
Hello!
Water break.
Sorry for the wait!
Water break.
Greetings, boys and girls of Yasogami! The P1 Grand Prix is about to begin! There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out! Tell us how you really feel!
What the?
Okay, so we are going to say all of the first options, because the only way to 100% this game is to go with both is to see the results of each option. There's always two. So you always so the best way to do this is to go through use route once, going through all the first options, and then again going through all the secondary options. So you, Rise? I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Rise Kujikawa, one of our friends on the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me, or is she choosing not to respond? As I ask myself this, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I see countless students staring at me from the hallways, the entrance, everywhere I turn.
May I have your attention, please? I, Rosette, will be your commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all.
What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Before I can think of any answers, Rise makes another announcement. And, as if on cue, the monitor in the music room turns on. What appeared on it was Teddy. He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Rise and now Teddy? What are they doing?
You're all here now. Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
That's the same as well. That's the same bizarre tournament that was shown on the Midnight Channel. Then, is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
Teddy, what's going on here? We came to look for you and Rise and...
Always with the talking, Sensei. It's a big waste of time. Less talk and more fighting! With the next challenger, come on down!
Alright, any guesses as to who this is gonna be?
Okay.
Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone beyond that white curtain? Eventually, my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up, expecting anything. But who should appear but Yosuke? Though I hadn't expected to run into him like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Also, this music is from Persona 3.
Oh my gosh.
Surprised to hear P3 music in the P4 route. My taco bake thing is amazing. You made it for supper. Oh, glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Tai, welcome. You know about being invisible? Oh. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looked a lot like some kind of fighting competition. Wait, am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? That's not funny at all.
Great. They're expecting you and me to fight.
Looks like. Sheesh, what's Teddy thinking?
Starting that up already? I won't let you get all buddy-buddy with each other. These battles are fought to the death. Only the victor can proceed.
This joke's gone on far enough, Teddy. We're not gonna play along with that.
I look over at Yosuke, hoping that he would agree with me. But Yosuke didn't appear interested in what I had to say.
Oh, really? I guess you should declare me the winner then.
Yosuke?
What? You don't plan on fighting, right? That means I win by default.
That was not what I was expecting to hear. What?
Not technically. If he doesn't want to fight, not technically him winning.
Yeah, that's definitely Shadow Labrys's interference. Do I have a nacho recipe? Sure, you can put it down. I don't usually eat nachos though. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some kind of reason to be talking like this? I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner, and said something that I simply couldn't believe.
Oh, but is that okay with you? I mean, since Nanako-chan's here and all?
Nanako's here?
Wait, really? You haven't seen her? She's with Teddy.
That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning, and even then Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. Now, I will say that this is a lot more convincing if you play Yu's route first. But I think we all know that Nanako's not going to be in here, since we've literally gone through every other route up until now and not seen her.
Right.
But what if it is true? Just coming into this world can tire a person out very quickly. On top of that, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it could sometimes even be fatal.
Where is she? Yosuke, where's Nanako?
Whoa, what's gotten into you, partner? No need to get hysterical.
Why are you so calm about this? You know what happened to her last time she came here.
Nanako did come to this world last year. It was not something any of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching even now. And yet... No, even then, it might be wrong for me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting. But yeah, no, I don't blame him. I still cry when going through that scene of Nanako in the hospital. And then Dojima's reaction as well. Give her back! Give me back my little girl! It's like, ah!
I'm having that replay in my mind too now. Dang it.
Calm down. I need to think straight here. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then, was Nanako brought here by Teddy if he's the leader of this tournament?
Yosuke, be straight with me. Are you sure Nanako is with Teddy?
How should I know? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably still with him. Man, are you alright? Are you that worried about Nanako-chan? It's no wonder people look at you funny, thinking you have a sister complex.
The sense of wrongness I've been feeling this whole time is getting even stronger.
I'm gonna smack him. I know it's Shadow Labrys speaking, but still, I'm gonna smack him.
True, Yosuke may say some insensitive things. Some? But mostly that's because he reads too much into a situation and becomes outspoken. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this. Unless, of course, it's about Kanji and his sexuality.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Huh? What are you talking about? I should be the one saying that to you. She's not even your real sister. All that big bro stuff really creeps me out. It was a while ago that I saw her. It's probably too late to save her now. You know how things went last year, after all.
Yosuke.
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke is my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least, I thought so up until now. He was the one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about, and when the unalivings first started last year. I can't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who wasn't alive, but the way he's acting, he's doing this on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
Draw your weapon. You'll get your fight.
What? Dude, what are you saying? You told me you let me win by default.
To be honest, I was thinking that this Yosuke before me was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him, and Yosuke's shadow had appeared again in this world. But this wrongness I keep sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And the strangeness I feel is because these words really are coming out of the mouth of someone I never thought would say them. If so, then...
I don't know if you're being controlled or if there's something else going on here. Either way, you must understand the best way to resolve the situation.
There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'll just have to fall for this trap once. You make a mean lobster mac and cheese? Oh gosh, now I want mac and cheese.
Oh.
Sorry, but I'm gonna go all out. No hard feelings.
Huh? All that talk and you're gonna fight against your partner after all? Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and get this started. Ready?
It's been a minute since you last had lobster? I don't remember if I've had it or not. Alright, now we can save. Alright, time to fight Yosuke. I think this is another one where we just fight the 3 people that are on the same row.
Probably.
But I do know that we also have a fight with Aigis and then Elizabeth as well.
Now I'm pissed.
Sorry, Yosuke. Hey, watch your language!
Yeah,
Yosuke! I will hit you with your weakness one more time if you don't watch your stinking language.
No.
No! There you go. Get out of here.
Match for you.
That's right, you're not.
The victor was no surprise.
Also, use jacket just blowing in the wind in his victory pose, like... Is this supposed to be a remaster? No, it's not a remaster. This is the... Well, this is the DLC of...
Amazing, Sensei! Keep that up and zoom on ahead!
So, this is technically Persona 4 Ultimax, but Persona 4 Ultimax comes with DLC that allows you to play through the story of Persona 4 Arena, which... And Ultimax is a sequel to Arena. And my PlayStation 3 has a broken disk drive, so I had to repurchase the game through digital content to be able to play it. But because of that, I basically just got Ultimax and then the DLC. So this is still the story of Arena, and it's going to have some updates from Ultimax, but it's not a remaster or anything.
Ahead? You're gonna continue with this? Teddy, about Nanako.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you want to find out, you'll have to get to me. And I can't say why, but I think you should hurry.
How come they never made across her with all Persona characters interacting with... Oh, a crossover? So, this, at the time, was the big crossover. Because this even came out before Persona Q. This was the big crossover between Persona 4 and 3. We didn't get all of the P3 characters in this in Arena, but we do get the rest of them in Ultimax. Hello, Minxie, welcome. So we will see them when we get to the sequel story. But right now, the biggest crossover that we have so far is Persona Q2, because it has all of the main characters from Persona 3, 4, and 5. But we haven't played Persona 5 yet on this channel.
Plans on it, but it's gonna be a while.
Yeah. Once we get through Ultimax, we're either going to be, I will either be purchasing the dancing game so that we can play Dancing All Night, or I might try to find an emulator, or, and if we don't do Dancing All Night at all, then we'll be going straight into Persona 5. The monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako, but he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be here. The moment the monitor turned off, the students began to leave like waves in the receding tide. No, they don't look like students anymore. There's something inhuman, just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fighting to notice, but it seems their true forms were coming through. They look like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if they're not a threat and they're going away, there's no need to chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Water break! I walk towards where Yosuke lies collapsed on the ground and give him my hand to help him up.
Ow! Couldn't you hold back a little? I seriously thought you were gonna kill me!
Unalive.
The same went for you. I wouldn't have stood a chance if I held back on you.
Yosuke grimaces in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I knew I couldn't risk going easy on him, so I was a little worried that I'd actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
Anyway, that aside, shut up about the nurses already! It's not like that's the only thing I ever think about!
What's this about nurses?
Huh? You were harping on it the whole time! How can you stand there and constantly bash my taste in women with a straight face? Is it such a crime to like nurses?
Wait a second.
I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but it's not making any sense at all. I tell Yosuke to calm down. We go over what we thought had happened before the fight. We learned that our memories of what each of us had been saying didn't match up at all. According to Yosuke, it seems that I'd been, well, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated up over what I supposedly said that he almost went into graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really, it's best for both of us if we pretended this had never happened. But thanks to our conversation after the battle, I've come to realize something. If we'd been hearing each other say things neither of us had been meaning to say, then...
Yosuke, let me ask you something. Is it true that Nanako is here in this world?
She is?
Yosuke's at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I'd heard Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't possibly have said. This only makes me more convinced that I had the right idea. What I had heard wasn't what Yosuke had meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words, even if he didn't know he was saying them. That reminds me, Teddy on screen had said that I needed to get to him if I wanted to find out the truth. Does that mean that Teddy had done this to us?
I guess there's no choice but to keep going.
Hello, Cameron Diaz. Welcome. Not sure if that's the real Cameron Diaz or not, but welcome all the same.
If it is, I'm gonna freak out.
Right? I'm going to make the assumption that it's not, but... Nanako was good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if Teddy wanted to kidnap Nanako, it's certainly possible he could have. I want to go home once and check to make sure she's okay. I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find Teddy on my own.
Taking off?
Yeah.
Well, be careful.
Be careful. I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotions behind those words. Yes, I know now that I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I take Yosuke's cheering me on to heart and leave the music room. Teddy had said that only the winner could go on in this tournament. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it all out, and lets me go without much talk. He's frustrated that he can't help me out. I could just be jumping to conclusions here. After all, Teddy did say that was the rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, I might as well see what he meant by that. Oh, this part. I stopped walking and turned back to Yosuke. He's such a troll. But like the good kind of troll.
Oh, one last thing. About those nurses.
Quit it already! Are you out of your mind again?
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes towards me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from finishing. And... oof. There's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
What is this?
So there's an invisible wall. Looks like the loser can't leave the room.
It looks like there's some force that prevents the loser from leaving the area where the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of these battles happens here, the winners will get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
I see how it works now. Thanks.
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nanako, then there's no time to lose.
Don't use me as your guinea pig. Wait, that's it? Hey, don't wear yourself out, alright?
I turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, Yosuke. I give him a quick smile before leaving the area for real this time. Again, only best friends can tease each other like that.
Yep.
At that moment, I feel a wave of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling all too well. The Velvet Room again. We are being summoned again. Margaret cannot leave us alone.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Right?
I've been leaving the music room, but now I'm sitting in the Velvet Room for some reason. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicions. Margaret sees my suspicious expression, speaks up.
Things have only just begun, and yet you already seem tired. The misfortune that has befallen you can be thought of as a sort of trial.
A trial?
I want to know the details behind her words. Hey, Fishy, welcome! So about those nurses. I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of the Velvet Room never reveal anything. That's because they can only watch over the choices their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens as she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
Indeed. I am an observer on your journey. I would do nothing so thoughtless as to force you to make choices. You do not need such provocations. I already know that you shine brilliantly enough.
In other words, she believes in us. The shine she speaks of. Could it be about my ability to use personas?
Yes, that is part of your brilliance. Personas are masks of resolution, strengthened by controlling one's heart, by forming bonds. You understand this well, don't you?
Yeah, that's how we all fought up till now.
Yes, indeed. But one's heart is intangible. It cannot be seen and cannot be felt. When polished, it releases a strong light unlike anything else. But it can also be clouded by trivial things. Have you ever felt that way?
That's not true.
You truly are strong. I find that very appealing about you. But you should remember that not everyone is as strong as you.
That is very important. That is a very important lesson, though. It's like, even in real life, you yourself may have the strength to deal with certain hardships, but not everybody has that same strength. So even if you and a completely different person were to go through the exact same thing, it's still possible that you may react differently to it because you might be stronger than they are. But that doesn't mean that the other person is less than for having a different reaction than you. Hello, Pie Guy 300. Welcome. Margaret's probably your favorite out of the blue ladies. The twins are funny too. Yeah.
From here on, you will be forced to re-examine the things you know as bonds.
Although we haven't played Persona 5 on this channel yet, so I will say please no spoilers. Yeah, I have played it.
How will you face the changes to come, and what choices will you make?
So far we've only played games relating to 3 and 4. When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school's hallway. I turn around and see the door to the music room close behind me. Was I only summoned to the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
The changes, huh?
Even though the people of the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little they do say always have meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret has said some strange things while I've known her, but she's never said anything meaningless while on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. I may have to keep her words to heart. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. No spoilers. No spoilers! I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Yasogami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Though personally, my favorite Velvet Room attendant would be Theo, and that was before I found out that he was voiced by Cat Noir. Teddy had appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of things, he appeared to be behind what was happening. But I'd heard Risei's voice over the school's PA system over my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, then I can make a good guess as to where Teddy and Risei are.
It might be the announcement room.
But of course, things aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. It seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. Just like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
I stop for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building and mutter to myself while I look around. Where are they trying to lead me? In that moment...
Hey, you there! You're one of them participants in that Grand Prix thing, right?
Hi, Labras!
Hi, Labras.
Voice I don't recognize at all breaks me from my reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
I turn around and see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. Hello, Goth Ninja, welcome. What's happened? So, we've already played through the other routes that explain this, but that girl is actually a robot named Labras. But she was thrown into this world after being fed information about you and his friends, and manipulated into creating this school. But right now, because of one of her functions, she doesn't know that she's a robot. She thinks that she's a normal human girl and that she's the student council president. But she's been thrown into this TV world where one's thoughts can affect the reality around them. She looks like a real person. She was caught up by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of their intensity. Shout out to the French. She's a weird cartoon that's kind of fire. It's French. They may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. I mean, to be fair, Wings Club is Italian, so. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheathe my sword, but remain cautious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh? You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval. Alright, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasugami High uniform. She said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. If a person is here, then they're either a Persona user or a...
Why are you here, by the way? Wait, did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. I might have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is that someone threw her in. How's what was happening in the unalivings from last year?
All inside a TV. What kind of nonsense is that?
She's not aware of it. But if she was a Persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Then, does that mean she's a victim after all? I carefully choose my words to avoid provoking the girl and introduce myself.
I'm Yu Narukami. I was a second year at Yasugami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform...
Oh no, this is... kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
The student council president? If I'm remembering correctly, the student council elections should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge of who won any of those elections, since I'd left Inaba before they took place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president. No reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you want to be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things clearly to her, it'll only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddy, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set this tournament up. Second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. The accident is throwing you off, you have no idea what it is. So, officially, she has a Kansai accent, which accents work differently in Japan than they do in America, but the accent that they gave her is more of a, like, Brooklyn accent. So if you've ever seen the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, think of Joey Wheeler. Brooklyn Rage! And third, that my cousin, Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
So if I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did. Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks me why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all this is within another world, one accessed by going through a TV screen? She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world, no matter what. Where'd that sound come from?
Hey! That sounded like it came from the gym! I ought to tell you to go home, but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
We both start running at the same time. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see that Miss President's keeping pace right beside me. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person. She doesn't even seem out of breath. She's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. A lot of accents get lost in the translation process. Yep, Goku is supposed to be a country bumpkin. Chi-Chi is even more so of a bumpkin than Goku is, despite being a princess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also why a lot of times if you hear a southern accent in anime, usually that character is speaking with an Osaka accent. But Osaka accents also tend to get translated as just the character using a lot of slang. We burst into the gym where all the noise comes from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that reach almost to the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitor in the gym flickers to life. As I'd expected, Teddy appears again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei? Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Whoa, you look so mortified! That's the face I was hoping to see!
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddy's words causing me to doubt myself, and Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you! You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't ya? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council? Pack it in and clean all this up already.
She speaks as fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly so hard to read, it keeps throwing me off. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddy can even make such a malicious expression.
What's that tiny thing? I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei! A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner! Sit, puppy! Sit!
He has absolutely no intent of dealing with her seriously. This president turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forwards and put myself between the monitor and Miss President. Just let it go.
Leave this to me.
I love it! The options are just let it go or leave this to me. But saying just let it go, he says out loud, just leave this to me.
Right.
What's the point of the option then? This president's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she could do herself. I don't want to let those feelings continue, so I turn to face the Teddy on the monitor.
That was pretty harsh, Teddy. Hard to believe a womanizer like you would say such things.
Huh. What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? Do you know something about her?
The way he said that makes it sound as if there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in his answer.
Come on, Sensei! Your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you!
Alright, no worries, Mick. See you in a bit.
With the next challenger, come on down!
I should really get some food, too. I didn't have a chance to eat before stream. After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time, is Yukiko who appears.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you alright? Has anything odd happened to you?
Odd? No, I don't think so.
Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected by it like Yosuke had. Now that's the Yukiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. Teddy with the fat cigar is a vibe. True. I think after this scene, we'll do the fight and then finish up the scene with Yukiko, and then once Yu is moving on, I'll probably take a quick break and go get some food.
Hello.
If she's not being... Hey, Dem. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask for her help. I try to explain what I need from her.
Nanako might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddy is. I need you to protect this girl for me. She might be a victim of all this.
I motion towards Miss President standing next to me. Yukiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her, though. But what Yukiko said next was even more surprising.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
I'm not going to help her because I don't know her? Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukiko really think that way? It's gotta be the same as with Yosuke. That same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukiko speak.
Yukiko, not you too. Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
This is probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish. You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. The real Yukiko would never say something that disrespects the value of a life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. I don't understand the details, but Yukiko hasn't had a complete change of heart.
Yukiko.
What the? You can?
When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me, but I can't answer her right now. If a battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals.
Dang.
You're a real bastard
Jerk.
with a sister complex. Keep it up and bring 'em all down.
I ignore the taunts being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other, and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe. Both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Miss President, who's standing behind me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible. Equal rights, equal fights, exactly.
Persona!
Yukiko can take it. She's pretty tough. I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart, my persona, Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she'll surely defeat me. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona, Konohana Sakuya, rises behind her. That's right. The usual Yukiko would have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Alright. Time to kick Yukiko's butt. It's time to fight the unconquerable Snow Black. Alright.
Final.
I love how the announcer always starts as finally. Like, gosh, it took forever to get to this next fight. We finally get to play the game. No! Stop it! Bad Yukiko! No! There we go. Oh my goodness.
A round of applause for both sides.
Alright, we got her. Yeesh.
The winner is you, Senpai! What an utter thrashing!
I love all this animosity! These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's the real thrill of the P1 Grand Prix!
You know, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like I've actually been able to do a pretty good job with the censorship today. I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jests. I still have reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there is no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy and Rise have been affected, just like Yosuke and Yukiko had. If they are, then there's no use in trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I've come to, but Miss President seems to have other ideas.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends. What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
What do you think we are? Miss President vents her frustration at Teddy's image on the monitor, but I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. She seemed more upset that he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder she was elected to represent the student body of Yasugami High.
It's alright. Thanks, though.
It's not alright! This is...
She's still worked up, and she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is still a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing right now cannot be forgiven. I glare at the monitor.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid! What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddy, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddy's face, I will make you pay for toying with us.
That got under its skin. Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off, suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse. It's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side. Are you alright?
Yukiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
No, it's okay. You weren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke, and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Hey, did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukiko hesitates as if even remembering it is a difficult experience. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever's doing this is certainly finding the most annoying way of getting us to fight. But what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right. It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
You sure you want to know?
If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President, who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you?
Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
She did see everything that had just happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduced Miss President and Yukiko to each other, and fill in the parts that I had left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside the television. And I tell her how the scenery here changes according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she's just seen our personas only moments ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seems that she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seems that Yukiko didn't know that Yasogami High had a new student council president either. Yukiko apologized for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
And that's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
This school came from me? That's a lot to swallow.
I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
That's right. I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reasons, such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people they came from, and will try to harm them to try to become independent identities. I hadn't given it much thought since this president seems so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddy a moment ago, and come to a conclusion.
The Teddy who's hosting this tournament. What if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddy would mean he's someone else using Teddy's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
Yep. That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least, the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what others hear and say and do and see us do. If it can do that, then I can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. That means it could be impersonating Teddy and leading this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why it would take on the appearance of someone it doesn't know. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances. This is the first time I've seen one impersonate an existing person. Does this shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All this talk of shadows in another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled at the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow aren't her fault. Miss President rises to her feet.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddy's behind the whole shebang, right? And if he came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. As student body president, I can't let this go.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Show me the door.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and her awareness of her duties say that she'll never back down.
Your little cousin's in the announcement room, and you're gonna go save her, right? I might not be as strong as the two of you, but I'm no slouch in a fight. Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No, don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help. Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President declares this in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes, I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once, or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to be unalived. Yukiko ignores the fact that I'd be leaving her here alone and tells me to follow a girl she's only just met. That's the exact opposite of the behavior she'd been displaying before the fight. Now that's the Yukiko Amagi I know. I'm ashamed that I even slightly let myself be confused by the way I had heard her speak before, and I answer her. I'll come back for you no matter what. Leo!
I believe in you.
Yukiko nods to me and I... Yep. Yukiko nods to me and I turn and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President through the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate, because the invisible walls are everywhere, but the announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the paths that she can take. I catch up with her. I will catch up with her no matter what. Alright, and with that said, I'm going to go... I need to use the restroom as well. And I'm gonna go get some food, so I will be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for taking so long.
Okay. And welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I also fed Leo. I've got food. About the only thing I didn't do was refill my water bottle. Which I might regret, but we'll see. Been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may have... let me restart that because I misread that. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by that's something about that sentence. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Hello, Nixie. Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you got a headache. I hope you feel better. Thanks for popping in. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the P1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been here when I faced off with Yukiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up with her will be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door appears in my path. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think. But then I consider the timing of its appearance. I can't help but feel that there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through the door, I feel a slight sense of lightheartedness, and I close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I'm seated in my usual position, and Margaret is smiling quietly at me, as if nothing is different. When she sees that I've noticed her, she speaks as if aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I'm in a hurry. Time is meaningless, huh? I thought I'd figured out a few things about this room, but it seems that there's still more for me to learn about it. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, as if she's reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth. There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
If that girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune, she will face her trial. But it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial?
I didn't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you. Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Okay, since I also went to the bathroom, I can smell the soap on my hands, and it's messing with how my mac and cheese tastes.
Oh no.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. It's like my food tastes like soap.
Oh.
Another sight of feeling the lightheadedness passes, and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be, but for some reason my mind has cleared up. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. And now I immediately see a recognizable feature, her long ponytail. I found her.
Wait! It's too dangerous to go alone.
Take this! Miss President turns around in response to my voice. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting all that at all.
Calling me impressed that you managed to catch up to me so quick.
This calmness. Had she expected that I would follow her? I'm beginning to feel like she's toying with me. But I understand now. Nothing I can say will change her mind. There's no helping it then.
Promise me that you won't leave my side. And you can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody. This is a matter of life and death for you.
Sure thing. Then let's get to that announcement room together.
I thought that I'd be able to keep her in check by saying that her life was in danger, but she didn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. I'm not sure if she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks up.
Mind if I ask you something?
What is it?
There's a moment of silence. Just as I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President continues.
It's tough, being forced to fight your friends, huh? Sorry. You don't gotta answer.
She must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this, but it's a question that must be answered. That's how it feels to me.
No, you're right. If I could avoid it, I would. But I believe in my friends.
You mean your friends won't hate you after the fight? Or you think they'll understand that you don't really want to fight?
I don't know. Both, maybe. I mean, there's no way we'd fight each other without some kind of reason.
Will she believe that answer? I study Miss President's face. When she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly gloomy look in her eyes.
What if you had to kill each other?
Yeesh. Unalive each other? I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I'm caught off guard by how I hadn't even considered it. But it makes sense considering her past, since she had to dismantle her sister units. It's true, there's no guarantee that this General Teddy won't suddenly decide to make us fight to the death on a whim.
Sorry, that was probably over the line. I don't know why I said that.
Sorry, just trying to adjust my mic because I keep hitting it.
I wouldn't let it happen.
You're fine.
Even if I was forced into this situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. But after hearing my answer, Miss President cast her eyes down again. After seeing that behavior, how do I put this? Felt a sense of incongruity. How could that be? Something doesn't feel like her. Could Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden that she's yet to confide in us? Is it so heavy that she would ask that question of me? Speaking of which, if General Teddy does turn out to be her shadow, what does that mean about whatever repressed thoughts she truly has? Suddenly, it seems that her courageous and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that, and a slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thoughts race through my head while we walk down the hallway.
What are you doing?
Ugh, I thought I broke my nose for a moment. It's an invisible wall again. Even though I should have been expecting them, I relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wave away Miss President, who looks concerned.
There's an invisible wall. I don't think I can go through here.
An invisible wall? Oh, that must have been why you broke out of the mime act every now and then. Well, if I can pass through, it must only be blocking the tournament fighters. This world sure is out there.
Miss President walks right through the place I bumped into, so that must be the case. As I'd imagine, Miss President is unaffected by these walls. I think it's because the researchers can go in and out through the walls, through the fighting dome as they please, whereas Labrys and her sister units could not. They were forced to stay in there until they finished each other off. Is it because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix? Of course, if General Teddy really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her. The entrance leading to the school building is ahead of us. But perhaps worst of all is that the wall I had just walked into is blocking me from reaching there. I'll just have to find some other way. Oh, there are walls there too. And the same could be said for the direction towards the entrance. The thought crossed my mind as I checked back the way we had come. It's as I thought. Another invisible wall is formed where I just passed, and I can't go back. With walls in every direction, there's nowhere I can go. Time for Chie! I'm trapped.
Yep.
If I can't go anywhere, this can only mean one thing.
Be careful. This probably means...
The moment I call up to Miss President, General Teddy appears on the monitor in the entryway. It means my third round in the P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
Is your snout okay, Sensei? Jeez, you're such a klutz!
You're still using that form? It's getting old. Why don't you just show your true self?
Boy, you've gotten peevish. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I was intentionally trying to rile him up, but he wasn't falling for it.
I said, sure, Teddy. Keep telling yourself that.
It looks like I'm not going to get him to reveal anything right that way. I quickly changed tactics.
Okay. So who's my next opponent?
Ooh, now you're getting into the spirit of things. Let me guess, you're starting to enjoy beating up your friends? Okay, with the next challenger, come on down!
It's more like he knows what's about to happen.
Yep.
The general doesn't pick up on my intention and loudly yells out what appears to be his pre-battle catchphrase. Smoke pours out. And who should appear from the smoke but the person I was expecting to see? 4 of us entered the TV together. I've already fought against Yosuke and Yukiko. Then...
That's what I thought. You're the last of us, after all.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be next, too.
Chie laughs along with me. For the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her words and actions. I can't let my guard down around her. After all, I felt the same way when I encountered Yukiko, too. But as they say, the third time's the charm. I have to see if Chie's in her right mind. I decided that the best way to do that is to be calm and start a conversation with her.
Chie, you know what they're doing, right?
Before I can begin to explain, Chie cuts me off.
Yeah, I know. The stuff we say gets twisted around so we end up fighting each other, right? Don't worry. You're the son of a bitch who left us as soon as the last case ended, but you're still our good friend. I mean,
Leo!
You have it easy. You're just fighting your friends.
And here we go, get a glimpse at Labras. Leo, get down!
I had to keep killing over and over, all because of you humans!
Now this is obvious. She is clearly not herself. It's so blatant her words don't offend me at all. Moreover, it's not just out of character, but Chie would never say anything like that. And you humans? That's as good as confessing that you're not human. Oh right, carnivore was it? This president is watching us from nearby. She looks more dumbfounded than worried. Still, what Chie said at the end caught my attention. I had to keep unaliving over and over.
More stuff about killing, huh? Miss President was talking about it earlier, too. This must be...
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. 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 I'll give you a taste of the pain they put me through!
Oh, that hit so hard. She's not even trying to sound like Chie anymore. I can't even begin to understand what she's talking about. But if a shadow is intentionally making people say these things, what does this mean about his president? Unaliving each other? All because of humans? What kind of secret past could the new student council president of Yasogami High be harboring? No, now's not the time for this. I'll have to look into this after we cleared up all the confusion between us.
Let's do this, Chie.
I ignore her words and draw my sword. Immediately, Risei's voice echoes through the area, as if she was waiting for this.
Well, round 3 of the P1 Grand Prix already. Word on the street is that the carnivore may have a slight advantage. Will you, Senpai, all talk and no skill, manage to eke out a win this time? Let's get this show on the road. Ready?
Alright, here we go. Go ahead and add a bookmark. Just in case Chie kicks my butt. So you know how much she likes to kick.
Yep.
The spunky dragon with deadly legs, that's right. Spunky dragon with deadly legs. The carnivore who's discarded womanhood.
Finally!
I haven't discarded anything! I just did. Try and dodge! I dodged. Alright, halfway already? Dang it. Back off.
Not enough.
Nope. Come on. Take it. Get
Show you, man.
off. There. Oh my gosh. She really is kicking my butt. Ooh. Okay.
I knew you'd be impossible.
Got a different combo off there.
What a rare, close battle. You both fought well.
Well, that wasn't his, like, final, though. Ooh, excuse me. I've won. I lower my sword and begin slowing my breath. I don't believe I've injured Chie too badly. Considering this was my third time having to do this, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
Wipe that smug look off your face. This isn't fun at all!
General Teddy has seen that the fight's ended without any injuries, and spits his words through the monitor. The image on the monitor then disappears without anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I've fought all the friends I came into the TV with, and none of them are hurt. All that's left is to head into the announcement room and make sure Nanako is safe, and then we'll be able to go home. I walk over to Chie and help her up off the ground. She's come back to her senses, and she seems a little sheepish. Are you alright?
I think so. Man, you're strong. I'm kind of shocked at how much of a difference there is between us.
Look who's talking. I've never been kicked around so badly in my life. Wait for Chie to reach her feet, and then tell her everything that's happened up to this point.
So the others are safe too? Oh, what a relief. I was pretty worried.
She is so relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. I can't help but smile at that reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchange smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President sounds perplexed when she speaks up.
You guys really are tight, aren't you? Makes me jealous.
Well, we did spend a whole lot of time together last year because of that case. Sure, I was surprised to hear such weird stuff coming from him, but I know he'd never say any of that to me. Wait a sec. Who are you?
Oh, I forgot about that. I quickly introduced Miss President and tell Chie that she may be a victim in this case. But Chie looks again at Miss President suspiciously.
Huh? The student council president? You mean ours? That doesn't seem right. I remember the new president being a guy.
What are you saying? I'm the student council president. Who else would I be?
I'm pretty sure, though. Maybe if you told me your name, I'd remember.
My name...
Miss President stops moving. What's going on? She can't tell us her name? That's not that strange of a question, is it? But for some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. Chie and I share a tense glance.
My name's...
What's wrong?
My memories... No, I don't want to fight anymore. Why do we have to kill one another?
Destroy one another? I gasp when I hear the words fall from her mouth. I don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normally. I glance at Chie, then try to protect Miss President in the hopes of calming her down. Oh, the invincible battle axe strikes. Without warning, Miss President begins flailing her arms, as if she's trying to ward off demons that only she can see. Chie reaches out and touches her in concern. Miss President's arm catches Chie and easily knocks her aside.
Chie!
What power! I barely managed to catch Chie before she slams into the concrete wall. Still, the sudden breakdown. What in the world's happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chie back to her feet, we carefully approach her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. We can't ask her anything while she's like this. But at that moment...
What?
No way!
Before I know it, Miss President is flying through the air. She was jumping. For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. This is no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body is suddenly up higher than my head. Her jumping ability is unbelievable. Chia and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kicks off the ceiling and changes direction and lands at a full run.
Wow. Who is that girl?
Chia's like, wow, that was kinda hot.
Great.
Did I say something to offend her? She did mention something about her memories.
Come to think of it, her memories did seem a little muddled. Maybe she was on the verge of getting them back.
What kind of memory would make her go nuts and run away like that?
Oh, Chia, if only you knew.
Right?
I can't answer Chia at all. What if you had to unalive each other? I hear Miss President's sad voice in my head. Chia apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she continues.
I'll wait here. Make sure you rescue her, okay?
Her voice is strong and confident. To drive the point home, she pokes my chest with her finger as if ordering me. Even though she might be in danger herself, she is worrying about others. All my friends are like that. That makes me really happy right now. I ask Chia if she'll be alright on her own. She fires back, let me worry about that. I nod to her and begin running after Miss President once more. I will save her, no matter what. It just reminds me of a scene from the anime when Kanji is chasing them. Chie! You can handle this, right? What? You know that line in the movies? You guys go ahead and I'll handle this? Well, now's your chance to say it! Oh wow, you're right! Chie, don't let him trick you! It's like, this is our chance to say it. You go on ahead, I'll be fine. Even though I was running as fast as I could, the invisible walls keep preventing me from making much headway. I attempted to strike the walls with my persona, but nothing happened.
So many invisible walls, one after another. Miss President can pass through them. I don't know if I can keep up the pursuit.
Just hearing the word pursuit is bringing back flashbacks. The announcement room is still my destination. There's no way to know if that's where Miss President is headed as well. But if there's a shadow waiting for me there, I'll need to get there anyway. Teddy and Rise should be in the announcement room, and if Nanako is being held captive, that's where she'd be as well. I have to keep running, but yet another wall blocks the hallway. At first, I think that this is a dead end. I realize that I can cut through a classroom and come out on the other side of the wall. It's forcing me to enter the room, rather than letting me go straight. This probably means... I brace myself and put my hand on the door. The moment I step inside, a familiar voice echoes in my mind.
Hi. Senpai! Can you hear me? Please
Rise!
answer me!
That voice. Is that you, Rise? The real one?
Her voice isn't coming from the PA system. I'm actually hearing it in my head. This has to be the work of Rise's persona.
Thank goodness. I've been all alone since that weird fake Teddy captured me. And then you were all fighting each other.
I can hear the relief in her voice. She sounds so different from the intensive and rude voice that had been coming from the PA system. This is indeed the Rise I know.
Where are you now, Rise? Can you locate where I am?
I'm sorry, I don't think there's time. I'm stuck in the announcement room. Please, Senpai, you have to hurry. If you don't, he'll...
Rise! What's wrong, Rise?
There's no answer. The communication has been cut off. Has something happened in the announcement room? My heart begins racing. The enemy made us fight each other as participants in this tournament. They had captured Rise as well. It's clearly that they must have been worried about her using her persona's powers to tell us the truth. But that's not important right now. If she was just captured to prevent her from contacting us, then the enemy must think of Rise as being less valuable than those who had to fight. She sounded okay, but who knows what might happen to her now. I have to hurry.
Pardon me for interrupting while you are lost in thought.
I guess!
I guess.
A hand brushes my shoulder in surprise. I jump away and draw my sword. I can't believe that I let myself get so lost in thought that I didn't notice someone until they touched me. This is the second time I've let myself get so distracted. I've gotten used to having my friends with me while we investigated last year. I can't pay attention to the entire world on my own. I need to brace myself. I look up and see another unfamiliar face. A girl with blonde hair and striking blue eyes. Wait, a girl? Her face and voice seem human-like, but the rest of her... there's metal everywhere, all over her body. For a moment, I wonder if this is just an elaborate costume, but I could see the interior framework of her body where her joints connect.
I didn't mean to startle you.
You're...
It's nice to meet you. My name is Aegis, and no, I am not human. You are the one from the introduction video, listed as the Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel, Narukami-san, correct?
Dang it, Aegis. The question catches me off guard. I wasn't expecting a complete stranger to call me that. And did she say she wasn't human? It's, well, when Yosuke called me by that stupid title, I knew it was a joke. When a stranger says it, it sounds like they truly believe it. Huh. This is a pain.
Nanako is important to me, but calling it a complex is stretching things.
No, wait a second. I was trying to play it off, but I ended up blurting out Nanako's name anyway. Calm down. I need to take this conversation away from this subject. I clear my throat and try to start over.
Aegis-san, was it? Why are you here?
Our primary objective is the destruction of shadows, but we have come to this world on a different mission.
The destruction of shadows?
She fights shadows? But how could she do that
Does that mean...
Yes. I have a persona as well. Though my body is a machine, personas are the strength of the heart after all.
Yep. Just as I thought. I'm surprised to find another persona user outside of my group of friends, and a robot on top of that. I can't come to grips with all this. From the way we were talking, she seems just like a normal person, only in an interesting suit. True, I've seen some stories on the news about robots looking uncannily like real humans, but isn't something like this far beyond those? Still, I can't help but believe the evidence of my own eyes. I mean, I've been hopping in and out of TVs for the past year. Who am I to say what's strange or not? Very true! Perhaps the technology behind her creation has supernatural roots of its own. I find myself growing more and more interested in how she came to be here, but I have to put that aside for now. There's something I need to find out from her first. This P1 Grand Prix is so similar to the events of last year, but to think that it would involve someone like her. I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happening, that's for sure. I calm myself, then ask her what I feel would tell me what she's doing in this world.
And what is this mission of yours?
She opens her mouth to respond, but just then... the monitor inside the classroom turns on. It's at that moment that I suddenly remember. It's likely that I'm going to have to fight here. I'd forgotten about sensing that when I entered the room.
Aha! So that's where you got to, Sensei. I've been looking all over for you. Ooh, who's the honey? Were you in the middle of trying to score with her?
Teddy, you know that conversation topic is off limits.
As if you didn't know. You're the one who lured us both here.
Oh my, did you figure it out? I didn't have a choice after those guys decided on their own to horn in on the fun. You're a bright boy, Sensei. You know what's coming next, don't you?
The general on the monitor gives me a twisted smile. Could Aegis-san's mission be something that would cause him trouble? I can't figure out what his motives are, but he's using us to crush each other. In other words, she's the next challenger that's being set against me. Aegis-san seems to understand this as well, and is staring at the monitor with a quiet animosity.
Sorry about this. Do you know the rule of this tournament?
Only the victor of each match may move on. Yes?
I have nothing against you, but I'm in a hurry for my own reasons.
Neither of us, in other words, can back down. Then there should be no hard feelings.
Aegis-san is refreshingly straightforward about this. She immediately takes a fighting stance. A bitter thought comes to me. It's tough being forced to fight my friends, but for some reason, having to hurt someone that I don't know is even tougher. Another thought comes on the heels of that one. I don't know this girl. Perhaps her appearance here means that there are urgent problems that an ordinary student like me can't fathom. What gives me the right to stop her on her mission? Shouldn't I know what's at stake before I take that from her? Thankfully, it seems she hasn't gone mad like my other friends. Perhaps the enemy doesn't care about clouding the minds of people who don't know each other. If we're still capable of understanding each other, then we should talk this over before we do anything.
That will not do. We will speak more of this after one of us wins.
Aiga-san says this so quickly, it's as if she's reading my mind. Also, it says say instead of says. Aiga-san say this so quickly. Are you telling her to say it quickly? For a moment, I'm struck by how she could have known what I was thinking, but I realized that she's right. What good would it do for us to talk things over? True, the loser cannot leave the room, but until we have a battle, neither of us is going anywhere. It doesn't really matter if we can come to an understanding or not. Until we have our fight, none of our goals are going to be accomplished. If that's the case, then it's better that we don't hear about each other's problems before we fight. That could be why Aiga-san hasn't told me anything. This must be her version of kindness. I silently ready my sword. Aiga-san appears to smile slightly when I do. Right. I'm not going to give up on what I'm fighting for either. I need Nanako and my friends to be safe. And I have to make sure that Miss President is okay. I will use everything I can to protect them. To thank her for her consideration, I make it a point to announce that I'm ready to start the fight.
And here goes. There's no need to hold back.
Indeed. Let us do battle.
Alright. It's Aiga's time! Oh, Leo's moving around in his sleep. Also, I just noticed that for Aiga's date of birth, quote unquote, it says activation 2000.
Fight!
No! Light damage! I see him! Firing! Persona, rise up!
Which means that the events that led to Minato receiving Thanatos happened not long after her activation.
Persona! No! Severe impact! Ready! Dash! Damage! Severe impact! Fire! Please
Ah! Nope. Bad, I guess. There you go.
Light damage! No!
Alright, we got her. Good thing Agus is weak to electricity.
Yep.
Wowza! Now that's the sensei I know! That hunk of junk was no match for you!
Easy there. That's your sister.
Serves you right! Keep suffering! Friend against friend, beating the heck out of each other!
A machine with the power of persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general's watching over us with an expression of joy, as if we were some performers for his amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
I don't know why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddy's never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary.
You're such a dumbass!
Idiot!
What's with you?
That got under the shadow skin. The image on the monitor distorts along with that outburst. The general's having trouble remembering to act as someone else, and his face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense at copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddy is gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out these hateful words is not Teddy's either.
Respect? Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? destroy them with my own hands! You should all have to go through the hell I suffered. See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend. If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on.
Oh.
The general on the monitor continues to rage.
What are you talking about? Why did you set this tournament up?
The moment I say that, I feel as if all the dots have become connected. The Vice President had asked out of the blue if we were going to be forced to unalive each other. That ominous muttering of unalive one another. Were these both something that had come directly from her past? Maybe she'd been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. Had she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to know for sure, but it's possible. Considering this, it kind of explains why her shadow would have created a tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she went through. I might not be entirely correct, but I feel like I'm close to the truth. Should I just ask General Teddy about my suspicions? But as I'm considering raising my voice...
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
Gosh dang it, Elizabeth! Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Aiga-san to protect her from the following debris. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from the cloud of dust. While not as strange as Aiga's, she seems a little uncommon as well. But even besides that, why did she have to come through the ceiling? This room has doors. It makes no sense at all. That's Elizabeth for you. I've been about to get to the heart of the matter with General Teddy. The monitor in this room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Oh, please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Feigned? Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
What the heck is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Wait a second. That blue suit she's wearing, it looks familiar. And with that silver hair and golden eyes. Could it be?
Are you from the Velvet Room?
My, is this what's known as being hit on? A forbidden ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
What? No, I'm not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, so that actually sounded like I was hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. In any case, I need to ask her something.
Do you happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret?
When she repeats the name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I'd been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions, but could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of a pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. I can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess that doesn't matter too much. Anyway, worrying about the niceties isn't the most important thing right now.
Oh, actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Ah, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth. Dear me, to hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
She thinks of this world as a mundane place? That's confusing. Yasuhita may be out in the countryside, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. This girl Elizabeth suddenly bows elegantly to me.
Margaret is indeed my sister's name. Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, and now Elizabeth. It seems there are more people who call that place home than I thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
But why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Is that so?
It doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyway. So what possessed her to come blasting through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decided not to bother asking her that. I've met so many different people over the last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. She's just going to ignore the direction I'm trying to steer us towards and just veer off wherever she wants. Best to just hold on and go along with her for the ride then. Maybe if I pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. Just as I'm having the thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized. In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have. The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
I know a little about the wild card, but...
I feel that the first glue to granting my wish lies within that power.
Clue, Elizabeth. The word you're looking for is clue.
Clue?
Flu? Influenza.
Oh my goodness, Elizabeth.
Something along those lines at any rate.
She's having trouble coming up with the right words, but I can hear the sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild card is related to her desire and came here. I don't think it's worth it to ask how she knew I had that power, or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
What? Someone please tell me how she reached the conclusion that this was a good idea. I don't think I have a choice of talking her out of it, though. But, of course, I have to try, so I say... You're going to fight?
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations are ascending skyward at Mach speed. To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
Let me make sure of something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no illusions at work?
I love this line.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
I see. So you're actually in your right mind here. That's kind of, impressive.
Well, maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, then she at least must have some idea of what's going on around here. And even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me. I wonder, though, if she's unrelated to General Teddy's plans and invited herself into the tournament, do the usual rules apply? As I think about this, Elizabeth-san taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. The huge, leather-bound book in her hands opens as if by itself. A torrent of power pours from the book with a blue light. I can't believe this strange girl has such unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, it may be more correct to call it an era of imminent violence.
All right, I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing her. I have absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I hurriedly cast off my fear and focus on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with my full strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her with the intent of unaliving her, I'll be lucky not to end up unalived myself. At least, that's how I feel. Elizabeth's son calmly begins the battle.
Let us do this. Your fate is in the cards.
Yes, we're going to save. Because Elizabeth really will kick my butt.
Yep.
Alright, and of course date of birth is a big old question mark because she's a Velvet Room attendant.
Yep.
The lethal elevator attendant.
Finally. Fight!
Ooh, nice! I stopped her from summoning Thanatos. Ooh, again! Okay.
Please, impressive.
Alright.
Impressive. From this moment, impressive.
Oh, what was I saying about her kicking my butt?
Oh no. Impressive. Well done.
Dang! Okay, she didn't hit me once. Well, no, I think she did hit me once. But, like, dang. I was not expecting that to be so easy.
Oh, down.
Just when I thought I'd managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets back up elegantly, as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly, I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hasn't been taking this seriously up until now. Also, that is another really good image right there.
Oh, yeah. Whoever made this art is A tier.
Oh, yeah. In the next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power, like a leaf being blown into the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I'm spun about, and before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed to the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends and Aiga-san, all those I had fought against up until now. It's like that story that you see your life flash before your eyes before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? It's not over. I haven't lost yet. I can still fight. I've come so far, and I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth-san shuts her book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding torrent of power suddenly ceases without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that I continue to stand shocked still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Igus earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me.
No question about how she knows Igus' name. It's like, yeah, because she was Igus' Velvet Room attendant.
But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
She cuts herself odds and nods to herself, as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much fruit.
Fruit.
Flute?
Flu? Chimneys.
Oh. My
In any
goodness,
case,
Elizabeth.
I am quite pleased.
It's like, you have to wonder if she's doing this on purpose or not.
She definitely
Even
is.
after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have unalived me, even if it felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
Margaret had said something similar just before this tournament had begun. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret and Elizabeth-san's words come together in my mind. I love this line that you was about to say here because it's really powerful and it's something that I think a lot of people need to hear. Also, welcome back, Viking. You've been bamboozled. How?
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
I love that. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Yep.
The work to get up to have a better future never truly ends. Welcome back, Kiara. You were cleaning up your dishes, trying to make an early dinner? Oh, nice. Yeah, I really do love that line. Because it's true. Like, no matter how far we manage to progress as a society, we still... Oh, it was a game reference, okay. But, like, no matter how far we get as a society, there will still be more work to do. It's like what Steven said near the end of the Steven Universe movie. There is no such thing as happily ever after. I'll always have more work to do. It's very true.
Yep.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Once you have that path in mind, does it matter whether you've opened the door or not? Wait. Oh, does...
What?
I think that's supposed to say
What?
It doesn't matter. Once you have that path in mind, it doesn't matter whether you've opened the door or not. Reference to... Oh, Yusuke. Okay, yeah. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting. For the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles at my answer. It seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point, and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better
Well,
now.
then, it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
Hi, Elizabeth.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Aiga-san getting to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aiga-san doesn't seem to be very hurt or damaged, or whatever you'd say. She was likely just knocked out. I absolutely had no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her, or... either. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her either. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Isn't that normal?
Aiga-san laughs at my
Seeing
confusion.
you smile like that? I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aiga-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. Yeah, he's right though. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look Aiga-san square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so, Aiga-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. You and Persona Superfan didn't know the lines and character? I know the character! It's just been a while since I've played 5. And she is a weapon with a heart.
Spoiler.
Yeah. She is a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you? And she's the cause of all this?
We came to this world to retrieve her. My older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately.
Aiga-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but that she really is no different from a human. As I'm listening to her, I think about what this means in my search for Labris. It's not helpful.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world. Miss President. Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks... well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
My sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
Then there's no way Miss President could be Labris. I could tell at first glance that Aiga-san was a machine, Miss President appears to be completely human. I never once considered that she might not be human until just now. But that just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
Alright, in any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labrys is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrug silently. I don't want to be so grave. Aige-san must sense that I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, and nods.
Thank you.
And smiles.
I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I gave Aige-san a determined nod and ran out of the classroom. Oh man, what a busy Golden Week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever's masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labrys somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko seemed to be trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was probably boxed lunches that she'd made. As to how they might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed them anyway. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over, and we would have bought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe I could have made it to Sozai Daigaku in time to buy the latest of their special croquettes. I wanted to talk with the owner of Daidora and get some books from the Yamanaido bookstore. I'd have a steak bowl at Aya, hung out with the fox at the Tatsuhime Shrine, waited for my uncle so we could have dinner, and tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. If the one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labrys, and if they've truly brought Nanako back into the TV world, I will never let them go for that.
I'll make them pay.
As I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Someone here? Again?
Hello, Ghost. Welcome. I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. And the Velvet Room again. Margaret is in her usual position. I glance around to see if there is anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Dang! Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble. Though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
We're doing alright. Had a bit of a rough start at the beginning, but we're good.
Yep.
A new resolve. I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth, but man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she's testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then...
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
You're struggling with a shiny hunt? Good luck.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in response.
I have heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I've reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happening during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, and a fake Teddy. Arceus, ooh, good luck! My encounter with a weapon with a heart, Aige-san, searching for her sister, Labrys. and the determination that I've gained through the constant battles. What I must accomplish. How do I show what I've decided through my actions? Oh, the scene kind of glitched back to the Velvet Room there. Pretty sure it's supposed to fade to black. It seems that the number of invisible walls has decreased. Could this mean that the end is near? Just as I think that, I hear a familiar voice.
That's enough!
Oh, there we go. That was Miss President's voice. It was coming from the door to the announcement room. I finally made it. I opened the door to the announcement room and rushed inside.
You're finally here! Hello, Sensei! Congratulations!
Water break.
How does it feel to have won the P1 Grand Prix?
The General smirks at me as I pass through the door. Behind him, Miss President and Rise. When the two of them see me, Miss President looks confused, while Rise's face lights up with joy.
There you are, Senpai! You're late!
If you find it, totally calling it, Yalda both? I'm assuming you mean Yalda both? Yes, I get the reference. Have to stay cautious of the General. But I signal it's a mythical being that's, it's a mythical deity.
Huh.
I have to stay cautious of the General, but I signal to the girls that everything will be alright now. The General is closer to them than I am. I can't afford to make any reckless moves just yet. And there's one more thing I need to know.
Teddy, where's Nanako?
I look around at the announcement room, but Nanako is nowhere to be found. The General's face distorts with an ugly glee.
Nana-chan's right here. See?
Slowly, the General extends the arm that was behind... Slowly, the General extends the arm that was held behind him, and there was Nanako. Her arms are clutched to her chest, and she slowly takes a few steps towards me, obviously frightened.
Nanako!
After taking a step forward, I sense something bizarre. The General disappeared? For a brief instant, my full attention has been focused on Nanako. The General has been standing directly behind her, but now he's gone. How could he have gone somewhere else that quickly, right in front of me, without me noticing it?
Bro!
While I'm confused about the General's disappearance, Nanako weakly calls to me. Nanako's obviously been weakened by the TV world. She totters towards me unsteadily, looking ready to collapse at any moment. I can think about the General later. I have to save Nanako right now. As I reach out to her, Rise yells,
Senpai, no! Nanako-chan's not there!
Nanako's not here? What's she saying? She's right here. How come they didn't do a game like this for Persona 5? I mean, we have 2 spin-offs. We've got Strikers, and we've also got Scramble. Just as I'm about to say so, my hand stops. There are actually rumors that there's going to be a fighting game that crosses over 3, 4, and 5, but right now I think it's just rumors. Something's not right.
You also forgot Tactica.
What?
You forgot Tactica.
Oh yeah, Tactica too.
Oh.
I try to look into Nanako's face once more, and in her eyes I saw madness.
Oh, so close! Just a little more and Sensei would have been a goner!
You bastard!
Jerk! Oh, I barely got that in time! I barely reached in time to draw my sword and block the attack. The General suddenly appeared out of nowhere to attack me with his cane, and I get a good look at him as our weapons clash together. I see the madness in his face, the same madness I had seen in Nanako's only a moment before. That's when I noticed that Nanako had disappeared. What's going on?
You've got it wrong, Senpai! It's all been him from the beginning! You can make whoever's looking at him see him as someone else!
So he's not actually taking on other forms?
No, he's just distorting the things you see and hear!
That's right. The enemy is able to control what I see and hear. I realized that after the battles I had today, but seeing Nanako made me forget all that. The General laughs at this.
It's hard for me to show someone who isn't here. But you actually saw this Nanako Pearl?
You're hopeless.
Just like how my friends hadn't actually gone crazy before our fights, Nanako had never been brought into this world in the first place. The appearance before me is a fake. He distorted our senses to make us suffer. But just as I thought, he couldn't deceive Risei's persona abilities. That's why he kidnapped her, to keep her from warning us during this tournament. Now that I know that, I push the General's cane away and jump back towards the girls in order to distance myself from him. Good. Now I'm between them and the General. Then I look straight at the one behind this bizarre situation.
Who in the world are you?
You still can't tell? Seriously, the level of intelligence around here. Fine then. Here. Get a good look.
And water break while this scene plays out. And there she is. Shadow Labrys.
Yep.
Well, the one thing I don't understand is why her legs go over her skirt like that. Like, you'd think her skirt would be going over her legs.
Right?
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
I saw metal limbs and golden eyes, a ponytail, and a mirror image of Miss President's face, even though she was standing behind me, trembling.
How about it? You wanted to see what I am, didn't you? Why does she look like me?
That's its true form. That thing is your shadow.
This is a shadow? She really came from inside me?
Risei tries to calm Miss President, but the girl shakes her head in denial and squeezes her eyes shut. While Miss President refused to look at this mechanical-looking being, I now understand what's going on. Because this isn't the first time I've seen a robotic girl before. All the facts match up. The way she was able to run so fast without so much as breathing heavily, even in the TV world. The sense of wrongness that I had had when Miss President had asked me about unaliving my friends. The way she had avoided telling me her name. That superhuman strength when she hit Chie, and that incredible jump to get away from us. And the Shadow's ability to interfere with the senses of other people. Just as Margaret had said, all the pieces of the puzzle were laid out before me. They've all come together, and now I see the truth. She is indeed Labrys. Labrys, another weapon with a heart, stolen by someone unknown and thrown into the TV world, created this school and forced us to fight our friends. This deep-rooted depression regarding her past memories, all of this took the form of Labrys' shadow, who manipulated everything here.
Labrys, don't look away. If you don't accept her, she'll get even stronger.
Miss Labrys only shivers when I call out to her. There has to be some reason why she believed that she was the student council president. But that was just a disguise, more for herself than for us. No matter how comfortable it is, it's only there to cloud her eyes from the truth.
I don't know what your past was like. It must have had some painful memories. But you have us with you now. We're going to get you out of here.
I call out to Labrys while keeping an eye on the shadow. A shadow is the darkness within a person's heart. Unless it's accepted by the person it came from, it will never disappear for good. But with that in mind, all we can do is watch over her as she accepts this darkness within her. We'll have to protect her when the shadow goes berserk and tries to unalive her. But Labrys continues to shake her head and tremble violently. My words aren't getting through to her.
You hear that, me? Your friend is trying to tell you something. Too bad he doesn't understand at all. These These clowns are so hopelessly naive.
The shadow laughs shrilly. It continues to smear more poison into Labrys's
I
heart.
wish I could have made them feel my pain. What it's like having to murder one
Unalive.
That sadness and pain and anguish. Everything went black, and I was always left alone. I'm a weapon, a machine made only to fight. No human can understand my suffering. Stop! I've had enough. I'm human. I'm not like that.
This isn't good. I settle into a fighting stance, ready for anything. But I have a good idea what's going to happen.
Oh, you're still clinging to that? Then take a look at what you really are.
You admire the attempts of timing the unalives? I try. The shadow's eyes gleam with golden light. The change begins immediately. A shimmer runs across Labrys's body, and instead of the normal human girl there had been a moment ago, she has a metallic body, just like her shadow.
No! No!
Labrys loses all composure and scratches at her arms, trying to tear away the metal that disappeared. But there was more to her change than just her arms. Her legs, waist, chest, even her head, everything not covered by her clothing was now obviously mechanical. Her chest is covered by her clothing. Excuse you.
Oh my goodness.
The reality that she didn't want to face. There are no words we can say to her. No matter what we say, reality won't change. Labrys falls to her knees, and finally mutters words I was dreading she'd say. You're not me! You're nothing like me!
You're lying. This isn't real. I'm not a machine. You're not me!
She denied the truth of the Shadow's creation. With this, the Shadow's face twists with an evil rapture.
Finally! You finally said it! Now, I can be myself!
And this is where it would normally cut. Well, no, I think it's like after this, but what's around here? But since we've completed Labrys's route, now we get to see the whole thing beginning to end. Asterius. I'd hoped I could have saved her before it got to this point, but that might have been impossible anyway. It's difficult enough to confront the truth, and in her case, it was accompanied by revealing the true form she'd been so desperate to hide. She's a machine, and she was forced to perform painful acts that most likely no one could ever comprehend. Also, if you look in the back there, you can see basically remains of her broken sisters.
Oh. Yep.
The truth she was avoiding wasn't just part of her personality, but her actual body itself. I can't imagine the shock she's experiencing. But now that the reality she built for herself has crumbled, I want to help her. She may be a machine, but she has a heart. Labrys has denied her past, in which she was forced to fight and unalive her friends, sisters, and her pain comes out in a long, echoing scream. What was to be done to a heart to cause such terrible screams? There's only one thing that we can do. We will save Labrys. I don't think there's a fight here, but we're gonna save anyways.
Good idea.
I know there's one coming up, but... Oh, no, we do have a fight here. Okay. Fighting Shadow Labrys.
Finally.
The Raging Bull of Destruction. Alright. Get her! We have to save Labrys!
What was that about?
Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry because you're a shadow. It's okay. It's a shadow, so we don't have to feel bad about it. The power that Labrys' shadow had gathered dissipates. It's over. All that's left is for Labrys to accept the darkness within her. But will she truly be able to do it? I turn around, but Labrys hasn't moved a muscle. She had been avoiding having to watch the battle just now as well. What more can I do for her?
Labrys.
The moment I call to her.
There they are! Yukin! Labrys!
Sister, Narukami-san.
Chie and Aiga-san. And not just them. Yukiko and Yosuke are right behind them. And there are even more surprises.
Man, as soon as that invisible wall thing disappeared, I knew you did it!
We ran into Aiga-san along the way. She told us about Labrys and everything.
A little late, wasn't it? If someone told me what was going on from the start, I would have...
You would have thought you were still dreaming.
You fell into the TV when you were half asleep. For crying out loud, you really know how to blow it when it counts.
Hey, what you going to tell them for?
I don't think this is the time for that.
Hi, Naoto.
Naoto? Yeah, we were surprised too. The job she was on turned out to be related to all this.
Kanji, who'd been missing before we went inside the TV, and the real Teddy are here. There's even Naoto, who wasn't supposed to have been able to come to Inaba. It looks like the whole investigation team's been brought back together, and I didn't know it. Everyone says that Rise had told them pretty much what had been going on. Their smiles are encouraging. I turn to speak to Labrys, who's been silent all this time.
These are my friends. We've all faced our weaknesses at one time or another.
Labrys finally responds.
Your weaknesses. You've all faced your shadows?
Water break. Everyone gathers around Labrys. Labrys tries to shrink away nervously, but Rise's behind her and won't let her retreat.
Sheesh, enough doom and gloom. If you don't hurry and accept her, she'll get all lonely.
But I'm a weapon who didn't want to fight. And I dragged you all into this.
You're still hung up on that? It's over already, dummy.
Your jumping skills were amazing, but you're surprisingly sensitive, aren't you?
What does that have to do with her jumping skills?
You're really cute, Labby-chan. You're so meta-luring.
Are you all listening to me?
Grief, Teddy.
Labrys needs to face her shadow now, and...
This was all going well at first, but now everyone's talking about different things, and we're completely off topic. Of course, that's not unusual with all of us. I have to laugh, and I apologize to Labrys that things didn't quite wrap up as I'd hoped. Labrys looks back at me with a blank expression. Can't she tell that we're not treating her any differently? I turn towards Aiga-san, and she meets my gaze. She nods silently, then stands before Labrys. She seems slightly nervous.
Nice to meet you, Labrys. Or rather, sister. I am Aegis, the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I am your successor.
I feel like the fact that everything with Metis happened is also gonna help Aegis in this situation, because Aegis understands through Metis what it's like to not want to be left behind and left alone.
Right?
Labrys jerks up and looks at Aegis-san. At the same instant, Yukiko gasps in surprise.
What? Excuse me, but are you also...
Yes, I too am a robot.
It just occurred to you now?
Weren't you with her all this time, Yukiko? How'd you not notice something like that? That's so like you. Once again, everyone looks towards Aiga-san and Labrys, the non-human sisters. Honestly, Kanji would be the one I would expect to not notice.
Right?
Now that I see them standing together, there is something like a family resemblance. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time. If Labrys is Aiga-san's older sister, then should I be calling her Labrys-san? Oh, I guess that doesn't matter.
My mission to retrieve you has brought me here. My colleagues are waiting for you.
Are they gonna lock me up again? Well, considering all I did, of course they will.
No, they won't. Labrys' expression darkens. I hadn't thought about it, but if Labrys and Aegisan are treated as weapons, it's no surprise that there would be measures to keep them in check. But Labrys shouldn't have to just accept it. If she truly is going to be locked up, I make up my mind and wait for what Aegisan has to say next, but she smiles.
We can discuss that later. Right now, there is an important task you must carry out.
I gotta do this, huh?
Aegisan quickly points at the shadow that has remained still while we've been talking. Labrys looks at the shadow and then turns away and casts her gaze down at the ground again. I see. So now I'm going to have to act.
It's okay. We're all right here with you.
I indicate my friends that have gathered around her. I've been forced to fight against my friends, just as Labrys had in the past. But I've been able to endure the suffering that Labrys had not. Of course, I hadn't been forced to fight to the end. But the biggest difference between Labrys and me is that I wasn't alone. What if I had been alone in this place? What if everyone else had forgotten about me, and I'd had to fight all alone? Just the thought of that hurt. Labrys had been forced to endure that pain. She must have thought that there was no escaping it. But she'll be alright now. We are not going to reject her. It doesn't matter if she's a machine. She's not alone anymore.
Yeah.
Labrys slowly looks around at all the faces, searching each one for confirmation. Finally, she turns back to me and nods. Labrys then walks over to her shadow. When she walks, she no longer seems to be bound by her fear. She then looks down at herself. She looks at the mechanical body that she had. She looks at the mechanical body that she had. So yeah, the words "she" and "had" are there twice, so that's what's throwing me off. She looks at the mechanical body that she had convinced herself she didn't have.
That's right. You're me.
Labrys and her shadow turn to face one another and stare into each other's eyes. She can't avoid looking at the shadow now.
You're the way I was on the inside, screaming to be understood. The pain wanting to be known. You're all I couldn't say. You were always inside me. You're me. A machine with a heart.
Alright, new cutscenes.
I'm sorry I ignored
Sorry I left you alone all this time.
I was the one who
left you all alone. I know it's kind of quiet, so it's fine.
No. You are me, after all.
Oh. And of course, memories of, or not memories of you, but the P4 theme playing. After all that, Labrys has finally awoken to her persona, Arietti.
This is my persona.
Labrys accepted the existence of her shadow and obtained a persona. It's finally over. We take Labrys with us and follow Teddy and Rise to the school's rooftop, where they say it's connected to the TV and Jeunesse. The invisible walls are all gone. Perhaps there were walls like that wherever she came from, and she drew on that in making this place. I have a feeling she's truly been freed from those walls now. As in confirmation, Labrys is slowly warming up to us, smiling more and responding to us when we start talking to her. When we reach the rooftop, we're surprised to see the TV world has regained the studio-like appearance that we were accustomed to. However, there are two unfamiliar faces waiting for us.
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san.
Here they are. These people have overwhelmingly intense presences, but thankfully they don't seem to be enemies. The moment we see them, we tense up, but after Aiga-san calls out in recognition, we learn that they're her friends.
I'm Mitsuru Kirijo, Labrys' handler.
A bodysuit like something out of a movie with a fur coat on top. It's a look that doesn't really work, but her name immediately reminds me of something. The Kirijo group. And if she has the same name, she must be quite an influential person in it. The research organization that developed Labrys and Aiga-san must belong to her.
I'm Akihiko Sanada. Sorry for all this trouble.
The man with the red cape appears to be quite comfortable with Mitsuru-san and Aiga-san. He must have been helping them fight shadows for some time. Is there some reason why people on shadow extermination squads have to dress like crazy people?
Ew.
Dang, you!
So, what's going to happen to Labrys now?
Before we finally introduced ourselves, Yosuke asked Mitsuru-san what I've been wondering myself. I know all of us must have been worried about this, but I was waiting for a good moment to bring that up. Even Yosuke seems to have realized how out of line his question is, and he shrinks back sheepishly, as if regretting having asked the question. I know why Yosuke's worried. Why does he keep stepping on landmines like this? Well, if he's already stepped on it, we may as well wait for the smoke to clear and see if there's any answer.
Well, you deserve to know. We were thinking of sealing her away again.
They were thinking? Did something change their minds? Mitsuru-san turns to Labrys. There's a smile on her face, but she's smiling for the is she smiling for the reason we hope she is?
But our report from Aigus says that thanks to you, Labrys has acquired a persona. She's hardly a rogue test unit anymore. Besides, she has a heart. We would never treat anyone with a heart so poorly.
Yeah, we did it!
Thank goodness! I'm so happy for you, Labrys!
My friends roar in excitement. Labrys looks around at us as well, bewildered before saying anything. Even though we've only known her for a very short time, we've already come to accept her as our friend. Mitsuru-san's words come as a great relief, as if I'd been worried that she might lock me up too.
Good job, guys. Let me say thanks.
He speaks without any hint of concern, but I see a touch of gratitude in Akihiko-san's eyes. He certainly looks, how can I put it, bold. But he must be an honest and upright. He must be an honest and upright person. This is true. I guess I could call him stoic. There's a distinct brusqueness to him. Okay, so that's a word I don't know. There's no way that people so considerate would neglect the goodness of Labrys' heart. It seems that Labrys can't believe everything she's hearing. She turns from Akihiko back to Mitsuru-san.
You're not gonna lock me up again? No fooling?
We only seal away objects. If I did that to you, knowing you have a heart, I'd be no different from the Kirijo Corporation of old. Labrys, you've been blessed with good friends.
Labrys looks stunned for a moment, then scrunches up her face as if about to cry. Then her face lights up with a brilliant smile. Who would think that anyone capable of making these expressions was just a machine? I find myself almost moved to tears as well. We're just about to leap forward to congratulate Labrys once again when... Labrys' head drops suddenly, like a puppet whose strings have been severed. I'm about to rush to her to see what the matter is. When I see Akihiko-san take a fighting stance, I realize this is no ordinary matter. Suddenly, a bizarre voice emanates from Labrys.
It's not over yet.
That isn't Labrys' voice. This abnormality seems to have made Mitsuru-san come to a realization.
What? It's the same communication system as ours.
Everyone, step away from Labrys!
Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san rapidly shout instructions to us. We all spread out and watch Labrys from a distance.
I cannot gain access. She is being hacked. It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
You mean outside the TV?
Outside the TV? That's right. I cursed myself for having forgotten that was supposed to... At having forgotten what was supposed to have been the cause of all this. All this was going on because Labrys had somehow been placed into a TV. So there has to be someone outside who threw her in here. The same person who stole Labrys from the Kirijo group, then threw her into a TV, is now taking direct control over her.
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
The nonchalant voice fills with malice. With a dazzled look in her eyes, Labrys looks up and dashes forward. She's fast. I barely dodge her axe in time. Surprised, I look up at Labrys once more. Her eyes are blank, as if she wasn't looking at anything. Those eyes were once filled with the strength of responsibility and an awareness of duty. Her face had once been filled with sorrow over her painful past. And she had smiled when she had found real friendship for the first time in her life. Whoever is controlling her has stolen all these things from Labrys. Then, I won't let her be hurt like this anymore.
She's suffered enough. I won't let you hurt her.
Alright. Final fight. And we're gonna need to figure out whose endings we're gonna see after this. Because the endings are a lot shorter than the rest of it, so... Because usually the endings are only the fight with Shadow Labrys, and then this fight right here. Alright, come on, nope. Yeah.
Not enough.
There we go. Woo, boy. Alright, there we go. Oh my goodness. There we go.
That was close.
My,
We
she
got it,
was
though.
quite easily defeated. Evidently, I didn't push her far enough. Well, she is a test unit, so this is as far as my little game goes.
Labrys has stopped moving. The only sound is the smug voice that continues to come from her. Those heartless words cause anger to boil up within me.
Who are you? Why are you toying with people's emotions like this? Labrys isn't a tool. If you want to fight, then come out and fight!
You're quite passionate. You, Narukami, was it?
This person, whoever he is, knows about me. Then, maybe it isn't a coincidence that we were dragged into this. This revelation shakes all of us.
Labrys' shadow was only the mastermind of the tournament. I see now. You're the true culprit behind the whole thing.
Indeed. It was I who stole Labrys away. Since I don't have a persona and can't enter a TV, I needed a puppet that could run amok for me. Labrys' persona was only partially awakened, so I had a feeling her shadow would appear if she underwent a little suffering. You got the better of me this time. You deserve to know at least that much.
Enough is enough. I've never been so irritated knowing that I can't do anything to whoever's controlling Labrys.
This time. So your scheme hasn't ended.
Well then, everyone, until we meet again.
The communication cuts off abruptly without answering me. Labrys immediately slumps to her knees. Before I can even begin to move, Aiga-san is already at Labrys' side to support her. Aiga-san looks at me and nods, confirming that Labrys is alright. Thank goodness. Labrys is okay. I feel a bit of my strength drained from me. Still, the sword in my hands feels awfully heavy. Mitsuru-san speaks up from behind me, even as I consider this.
It seems whoever our adversary is, they're connected to us. I advise you not to get involved in this matter any further. From here on, you should leave this to us.
What? Wait a second. We went through this whole big thing and that's it?
She's right. There's no way in hell we're backing out of this now.
I understand how you feel, but this is too dangerous for you. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. Trust in us and let us work.
My friends bristle at Mitsuru-san's proposal. After all, we've come this far, and we already knew about the dangers. There's so much I want to say, but I can understand why they'd want us to stay away.
Guys, I think we can trust Mitsuru-san. We should let them handle this.
My friends respond with looks of shock. Of course they don't agree, but now's not the time to complicate matters. One of them should understand why I'm backing down so easily. Signal Yosuke. The kanji one is funny, because, like, he doesn't get it at all, and it's like, maybe I'll try Yosuke.
He was half asleep, so he probably wouldn't get it.
Yep. I stare directly into Yosuke's eyes for a moment, hoping that he understands my intention here. Come on, Yosuke, back me up.
Yeah. We're all tired, so let's just get the heck out of here.
Smooth, Yosuke.
Forgot already.
Oh well. I sneak a glance towards Mitsuru-san and the others to see if they've picked up on this, but none of them appear to have noticed. Maybe they're just pretending not to notice. Well, in any case, it means that we've been let go for now. I sigh with relief before urging everyone into the exit TV. I think we'll do Mitsuru's ending after this. When I return to the real world, exhaustion from the events of the day catch up to me. I'm more tired than I'd expected. Then again, I'd been fighting all this time. Can't be helped. Excuse me. Can't be helped. Everyone else seems tired too, so we decided to go our separate ways for the day. Still, everyone is safe, Labrys included. It'll still be a while before this case is completely closed, but I think we can assume that the disturbances have been settled for now. I worry about the mastermind that had taken control of Labrys, but I need to rest for now. When I get back home, Nanako greets me with a smile. The moment I see that, all the exhaustion of the day hits me, along with a profound sense of relief. I can't keep myself from staggering. Nanako and my uncle were worried a bit by that, but that doesn't bother me at all. There was something I wanted to do in my room, but I haven't even been in my room for an hour when my awareness melts into the darkness. A dream? No, that's not it. My vision is quietly enveloped by a familiar blue color. Thanks, Margaret. This is the Velvet Room.
The actions you took, the way you withstood this trial, it truly shook me to my core. You have bested the misfortunes dealt to you and learned an important lesson.
Margaret is smiling more than usual and appears to be blushing slightly as well. I only did what came naturally to me, but she must have discovered something more than that. The path that leads past the door we've opened, the door to the future. I don't know what it is for sure, but I have a good idea that we've taken our first steps on it. I nod in understanding, and Margaret continues.
Now, I have a personal matter to discuss with you, not as a resident of this room. The one with malicious intent who struck at you today, this malice has not faded or subsided in the least. I'm worried about you. It may be that fate will deal you a third trial. Do you have the resolve to face it?
Bring it on.
You are strong. I will never cease to find you intriguing.
That will be the story of Ultimax.
It seems my fears were groundless. I'm already anticipating our next meeting. Until then, farewell.
Margaret smiles once more, and my vision begins to fade. The dream is ending. I fall into a deep sleep. Well, I have to admit, part of me is kind of considering wrapping up after this.
Yeah.
Even though it's a bit early. I wake up to my phone ringing. According to the call, we're supposed to meet up at the outskirts of the shopping district, at the crossroads in front of the gas station. When I arrived, the other members of the investigation team had already shown up. Surprisingly, the one who called us was Labris. She wanted us to come so that we could say her farewells to us.
Woo! Is that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh man, it's so long. What the heck kind of car is that? How does it even turn corners?
Very wide. A long limousine drives up to us with surprising speed. It's so long that I can't believe it was able to handle the country roads of Inaba. I don't think I'll ever see another automobile like this in my life. The limo slows to a stop and smoothly parks beside us. Mitsuru-san climbs out of the back seat and nods to us. Labris and Akihiko-san are in the back seat as well.
You're looking good, Labris.
Sorry I made you come here all of a sudden, but there was something I really wanted to tell you guys.
When I look at her, Labris smiles and looks embarrassed. She takes a moment to look around at all of us, then continues.
I decided to work with Mitsuru-san. I want to catch the darn culprit. Not only that, but, you know how you guys had my back during this whole mess? Yeah. This time, I want to get yours.
You go and do that.
I can't help but smile at the conviction and trust in her words. Labris has faced her weakness and accepted it, and she's about to begin walking towards the goal she found on her own. That's why I don't see any reason to stop her. It'll be sad to see her go, but this decision is one Labris made for herself.
This definitely ain't the last you've seen of me. When I come back, we'll hang out some, okay?
I'll be waiting, and so will everyone else.
Come back soon.
To lose such a rare beauty again, it's so tragic.
Dang it, Teddy.
That's what you're sad about?
Everyone has their own response to Labris's news, but one thing's for sure, we'll be waiting for her. There's no lie behind that sentiment. After all, she's our friend. Mitsuru-san tells Labris that it's time, and they get back into the limo. Labris looks me straight in the eye. She seems as if she might cry at any second, but is resolved not to. She smiles.
You guys are the best. I'm glad it was you who were there when I woke up. Well, see ya!
Hi, Labris. Man and machine. I wonder if there's truly a difference between them anymore. The thought comes to me as we wave our final goodbyes to Labris. The limo demonstrates impressive agility as it speeds off down the narrow rural roads.
Aw, she's really gone.
Seriously, wish she could have stayed a little longer.
I would have liked that myself, but they have their own tasks that must be done.
Yosuke and I share a glance after Naoto says that. Their own tasks, huh? It's not just theirs. We smile at each other. Ever since I answered Mitsuru-san's proposal inside the TV, I've had my mind made up. Yosuke already knows how I think. Then again, that conversation wasn't very long ago. It had only been this morning. I don't know how she found my number, but after Labris' phone call earlier, I decided to cook breakfast for Nanako and my uncle. Nanako hears me making noise in the kitchen and stands next to me excited.
I'll help too.
I panic for a moment when Nanako reaches for the other cutting board and a knife. I consider stopping her, then decide not to. She's a big girl, she can do it.
If you're gonna use the knife, be careful, okay? Make sure you don't cut yourself.
Uh-huh. I'm always careful when I cook with you.
That's a pretty
Nanako
big
picks up-
knife, though, Nanako.
It is, but look at this. Look at the look on her face, and you know she can use it.
I know she's such a precious being, but still, be careful.
She is. Nanako picks up a cucumber from the counter and begins slicing it diagonally. Her skills are still clumsy and unsteady, but all I do is caution her about how to hold the knife, and then watch her work without intervening. She doesn't have to become a master all at once. All it takes is constant progress, little by little. The same can be said for me or anybody. Even though things may hurt us, and we may want to give up, we just have to keep trying as many times as it takes until we see our goals through. Instead of nothing changing, I wish to see everything changing, along with myself.
Oops, sorry, Nanako. Could you put the knife down for a second?
Okay. I ensure that Nanako has put down the knife before I answer my phone. I love that he doesn't just leave her with it to go answer his phone. He's like, okay, I need to step away. No, please put the knife down, and then when I come back, then we can continue.
Right?
I didn't have to look at the screen to know who was calling.
Hello? Is this Yosuke?
Oh, it glitched out there. Is this Yosuke?
Like you don't know. Listen, about yesterday.
I thought this was coming.
Yosuke rushes on, as if irritated that we have to have this conversation over the phone, but I managed to calm him down. It's funny that he's getting excited over this, but I'm glad he managed to wait the whole night before calling me.
Yosuke, do you remember the Moonlight Bridge? The one from our class trip?
Yeah, sure. I used to be a city boy too, remember? Hey, were you checking out the Kirijo group online?
Perceptive as always. Now that's my partner. When I went back to my room last night, I spent as much time as I could searching for information about the Kirijo group online before I fell asleep. Of course, there wasn't anything about an organization involving Labrys or Aiga-san. The little I did find was better than nothing. Also, you can tell this game takes place in 2010 by the fact that he has a flip phone.
Yep.
Yosuke asked me if I plan to go back on my word to Mitsuru-san and the others. I did say that we ought to trust them to solve this mystery, but I never said we should let them do it alone. After all, the person behind everything may be after us. On top of that, they were using others in horrific ways.
Can't back down from this, right?
Now you're talking, partner.
Yosuke and I continue to talk. We know that we're getting closer and closer to a battle with an enemy we haven't even seen yet. There's only one thought in my mind. No matter what kind of hardship awaits us on our path, we will continue to fight on. As long as we have friends that will walk the path alongside us. Nanako watches me talk on my cell phone and smiles.
You seem excited, big bro.
I smile back at her innocent face before making a confident declaration.
The investigation team is back in action. And now, P4U's story. You can now continue from the cliffhanger in Naoto, Mitsuru, Akihiko, and Aigus' stories. But I am feeling a little dehydrated. It's not from lack of water. You guys know I've been taking water breaks. So, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up a little bit early today. Guys, sound off in chat if you're still here so we can go do a raid. Oh gosh, Nixie's still live. Wait, is she actually still live? No.
I thought she had a headache and laid down.
Yeah. Okay, no, yeah, she ended 2 hours ago. Okay, it must have paused and then hit play again when I went back to that tab. Okay, I was like, wait, what? How's she still alive?
Yeah, especially when she had a headache and stuff. I was a little confused too. I'm like, Nixie? What the heck?
Alright, let's see here. Lambo sleeps. It says 1K so special. Okay. That's a possibility. And where's he at right now? Oh, looks like he's about to go face the water trial.
Yeah.
I mean, it says we got 4 people, so... Sadly, nobody seems to be saying anything. Yeah, not sure how I feel about raiding somebody new if there's nobody in chat to join in on the raid, so... Alright, we'll go ahead and end things here then. So, next time we're going to finish up all the other routes. As long as we finish up one of the P3 routes, or Naoto, then we should be able to unlock Elizabeth. So we'll probably start with Mitsuru, and then we'll do Elizabeth's route, and then we'll go through the rest of the endings as well. But until then, thank you all for